Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah.
Yeah, man.
Here it is. Here we are. The Browns lose again. Mike?
Yeah, let's just dive right into things, guys. There's no point in wasting time.
I'm out of energy.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, let's
I
do
mean,
a
we've
read.
been
We'll
talking about
reactions.
sickness and death all morning.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Gave us a sobering stat
Yeah.
for high school class and how many people are gone already.
Mike, I'm
Jay,
ready to start.
I got to do a read, but while I'm doing a read, Jay, put your mic on, please, because we can't hear
Yeah, that might work.
Guys, FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. It is our favorite sportsbook, and right now FanDuel has a new offer for customers that you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if that first $5 bet wins. $300 in bonus bets to use anywhere across the app if new customers bet $5 and that $5 bet wins. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to get started or join in the fun today. All right, Bull, shotgun reactions. You're up first.
Yesterday was the perfect summary of the Cleveland Browns during the Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Berry era. Their offense looks great on the first possession. Dillon Gabriel made some nice throws. They moved the ball down the field, and they got a touchdown. In the Kevin Stefanski era, the Browns have often been an A offense on the first drive of the game. Unfortunately, after the first drive of the game, we saw what we always see, or almost always see with this Cleveland Browns team. They are a Z the rest of the game. Not even an F, because it's an insult to an F to call what the Browns put up on offense after the first drive continuously, and it happened again yesterday. What I saw in that field from the Browns offense was an absolute disgrace. The quarterback it cannot play. He made some of the worst throws I've ever seen a quarterback throw. That first pick, I don't know what the hell he was looking at. That second interception, I swear to you, that was like me in the schoolyard in my 20s playing touch football, and I had some athletic friends, and I'd play quarterback, and I'm a lefty, and I don't have a great arm, and I would just heave it up in the air, throw it up, and hope one of my athletic friends would catch the ball. That was beyond embarrassing. You can't even blame. There were no drops yesterday. The offensive line did a decent job. I know they don't have a lot of talent. The offensive line did a decent job. All right, make whatever faces you want, Jay. He got sacked one time. Dillon Gabriel is not an NFL quarterback. Once again, Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry have proof that they have no clue what they're doing if they thought this guy was an NFL quarterback. I don't care if it's 4 games. Bring up the random examples of Daniel Jones or Sam Darnold all you want until they win something that matters. It doesn't matter. When you know, and I know Dillon Gabriel. And I'll say one more thing because I know we're going to get to Shedeur Sanders later, and I'm far from convinced he's the answer. In fact, if I had to bet, I'd say he's not. But I don't want to hear any more that he's not ready, because the guys that are allegedly saying he's not ready, I don't trust them at all. So I'm going to assume that Shedeur Sanders is completely ready, because the guys saying he is ready, they have no ability to evaluate or analyze a quarterback. So let him play. Why not? You got 0 to lose. Let him play. Let's see what he's got. Jason?
Browns are a bad football team.
Terrible.
The second interception you're talking about, that was a classic. Well, he's down there somewhere. Except the Browns don't have a receiver that you can throw it to and say, well, he's down there. They don't have Jamar Chase. They don't have Justin Jefferson.
The DB that intercepted it would be our #1 wide receiver.
That was an incredible play.
It was a great catch.
And the first pick was an awful throw, too. It was behind. Yeah. Like, even if it's not picked, it was nowhere near Njoku. Like,
no.
How is he ever? No, Dillon Gabriel, he's probably not a starting NFL quarterback. I think we knew that before the start of the season, but we said you got to see what you got. Just like we said with Dorian. Well, you got to see what you got. Yeah. Well, you saw what you had in Dorian. You see what you have in Dillon. It's not much. Yeah, they'll get to Shedeur. He'll play at some point, and I'm with you. I don't know that necessarily he is or isn't the guy. We got plenty of time to get into it all. They are who I thought they were. They're not a good football team.
Yeah. Man, first and foremost, they tried to sell us all summer on this guy being some sort of MacBook Pro. This dude got all the processors, they sold us on all of this jargon, bro. And then you see him drop back and throw the ball to nobody and point to the ground. Like, where did you see that at, bro? There wasn't a receiver in the screen. The reality of the situation is Dillon Gabriel hasn't shown nobody no flashes at any point during any parts of these seasons. And when it was in the OTAs, people, I get that the ivory tower be out here sending the propaganda out. I'm just telling you, everybody knows that the microprocessor, he's the smartest dude we ever known. He read Hamlet when he was in the 3rd grade. These dudes just gave him, he could do mental math like he does taxes mentally. They had him being a 3, 4, 5-dimensional chess player. And I'm sitting there saying, yeah, that'll work on people who did not watch Dillon Gabriel in college. Nobody saw Dillon Gabriel in college and said, this is a top 100 pick. That's a fireable offense in itself. That you use the top 100 pick. And it's even worse if you say, well, we thought he could at least be a backup. You use the top 100 pick on a backup quarterback. What are you talking about? The fact that they're trotting him out, and Kevin Stefanski continuously says, yeah, we're going to go with him, bro. Listen, you're going to die on this hill. I don't know why. I don't know what. You don't need to go out like that, dog. You don't. We all see it. People is tired of pretending. Like, we got to pretend that and squint and look like he's doing something. In the narrative that if Shedeur Sanders ain't ready, Dillon Gabriel's not ready. That's ready? This offense? You telling me somebody can't run that JV high school dump down 7-point scoring offense? That you got to be a genius to run this and get nah. Matter of fact, here's what we're gonna say. Maybe it ain't the fact that Dillon Gabriel ain't ready. Maybe it's the fact that you're not ready, Kevin. Maybe you've been a fraud the whole time. Maybe you've been scapegoating people since you've been here. When was it? It was Baker or Odell or Jarvis, or which one is it? Was it Baker was upset? Was it Deshaun Watson really garbage? Joe Flacco wasn't no good. I keep seeing him throw touchdown passes. Who is it? Is it DTR? Is it Case Keenum? Who is it, Kevin? And now you got another guy, Dillon Gabriel, who you told us from Jump Street, who has received first-team reps from day one. He's your hand-picked guy from day one. When Kenny Pickett was here, he got reps. When Joe Flacco was here, he got reps. When Joe Flacco was the quarterback, he got in football games. And he been getting reps since day one, and this is what it looks like. The experiment is over, man. You could run him out here a couple more weeks and do whatever you need to do. But look, the longer you run him out, it's only going to make you look bad. Because right now, there's nobody who feels like he is a quarterback that has any starting caliber. It just is what it is, bro. Cut the loss.
Yeah, he is going to keep running him out here. He's already said that, which is kind of surprising that you would say that before you've even looked at the tape. Like, you're going to have your news conference in an hour. Just push off that question. There's no need to answer it yesterday. Oh, I've got to look at the tape. Kevin typically always says that. I don't know, I've got to look at the tape. Before he even looks at the tape, he has already decided, nope, I'm sticking with Dillon Gabriel. There are so many things broken on this car that you wouldn't take it to the repair shop to get it fixed. You would take it to the junkyard to get rid of it.
Scrap it.
Yeah.
And here's the biggest problem that this organization has right now. When there's so much awful play everywhere you look, it's impossible to do evaluations of anyone. What is Quinshon Judkins? Do we know? Do we know?
I think he's pretty good.
I think he's pretty damn good, right?
He could be the best back in the league if he actually has something around him.
But 9 carries, averaged under 2 yards a carry or 2 yards a carry, I think.
Well, he got hurt.
Did, but not until midway through the third.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's why he only got 9 carries.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you extrapolate his carries, he would have got 14, 13, something like that. The offensive line is so horrible, we can't judge anyone else on the offense. The wide receivers are so bad, we can't judge are quarterbacks.
Well, but you're judging all of those guys and saying you can't judge others. I don't
yes,
understand.
because here's the problem.
Yeah.
It's not like one unit's bad. They're all bad. So what's the biggest problem? If I'm going to decide to keep a car or junk a car, I have to know that, if it's just the alternator and I throw a new alternator in it, it's going to be a good car. I'm going to keep it. But it's not just the alternator. It's the brakes, it's the motor, it's the exhaust, it's everything. So I'm trying to make an evaluation, like, is there anything on this car that's worth keeping? Or is this car do I just drive this or tow this to the junkyard, wash my hands of it, and be done of it? The lack of talent on this football team is beyond egregious. It is beyond egregious. So from that standpoint, you've got a bad general manager, you've got a bad strategist, you've got a bad course plotter, whoever that is. Whoever's picking the talent is bad at their job. Horrible, should not be back. Then you look at Kevin Stefanski. This is the most confounding thing to me. Was Kevin Stefanski a good coach in the first drive yesterday?
I don't know.
When it was 7-3,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
were your thoughts? I'll be honest.
I saw a text on the text chain. They're playing well.
Yeah, I was
that's what I
like,
said.
wow. But here's the problem.
We've seen that.
You can't just, if you're a pitcher and you go 1, 2, 3 and you strike out the side, but you give up 12 runs in the other 8 innings, what difference does it make that you struck out the side in the first inning?
But we've been seeing that with his first drive for 6 years.
That's who he is.
Yeah.
When someone shows you who they are, believe it. Here's what he is. He's an okay coach when he has 6 days to plot one drive. After that, whatever is on his sheet that he's hiding his mouth with, after that first drive, it all becomes mashed potatoes. None of it matters. What did we get after that first drive? 1 or 2 first downs? A handful of first downs.
Nothing until the game was over.
It was
Compared to Josh
embarrassing.
McDaniels. Compared to Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels came out in the third. He say what
Had
you
an
want.
offensive plan.
Say what you want about him being a coach. Josh McDaniels came out and gave you a series of 7 to 8 plays in succession that was lineated. Like, yeah, let me go ahead and throw the toss play because I'm going to outflank you. All right, let me go right back with the reverse. I got you on this one. Oh, let's run play action off that. Everything matched. Everything was in unison. Everything had a sequence and a purpose. He was purposely carving you up. Kevin Stefanski, after the first drive, gives you nothing. I mean, not moving the ball, nothing.
So that's my point. My point is, I can't say, is he capable of coaching good football? He is. Is he a good football coach? He is not. And the proof now is in the pudding. He's had enough games to do it. He's what now, 12 under 500? I don't even know what it is.
He's 42-50 for his
Okay,
career.
so he's 8 games under 500. When you've coached 100 games, that's who you are. That's a body of work.
That's a lot of games.
That's a lot of games, G. That's a lot of games.
100?
And in there, he's won 2 Coaches of the Year, and he's also going to, in there, lose 13 games twice. That's really hard to do, guys.
Because they
think
walk
he's
up
gonna
to
be
They
Cleveland.
lose 14 twice.
Welcome to Cleveland.
I think he's going to
Yeah.
become the first coach in the history of sports to win more Coach of the Year awards than playoff games. The history of
I mean,
sports.
he didn't even win his playoff game. He wasn't in the building. I mean, I know it goes on his record, but,
Yeah.
part of the problem here is the play calling. So I think my overarching point to today is, what I learned from watching yesterday is, outside of Myles Garrett, I would take the entire group and start making hard, fast decisions about who you move forward with. You can't evaluate quarterbacks without wide receivers. You can't evaluate wide receivers without quarterbacks. The offensive line, the whole thing is trash. They are all trash. And the move to pivot to Shedeur, this is what I think he's looking at the calculus of it. There's 9 games left. Are you prepared to make this move and start Shedeur 9 times, no matter what it
Why
looks
does
like?
it have to be 9 times?
Well, what do you do after that?
Go back to Dillon Gabriel. If you play Shedeur the next
Dillon's
4,
not it, we've
you
all
play,
decided.
You play that, but what's the difference? I mean, if Shedeur plays like crap, if he plays worse than Dillon Gabriel the next 4 weeks, then go back to Dillon Gabriel. Go to Bailey Zappi.
No, they go
What's
to
the
Bailey
difference?
Zappi next.
Yeah,
No, no.
And that literally is like renting a horse that's dying.
No, what they going to do, Chris Candy said it, they going to play Deshaun Watson.
No,
Fine.
No, not this year.
Well, let's dive into the quarterbacks. I don't want to.
Yeah, all right, go ahead, Mike.
I know that's always the Molotov cocktail.
The quarterback
That
stuff,
ship is gone.
because there is plenty to get into. If you want to watch this Browns offense in person, good luck and get mentally checked. But you should use GameTime if you want to buy tickets to go watch this train wreck live, because GameTime is where the fans go, the real fans go, to get their tickets online. GameTime is 100% authentic, delivers your tickets on time, and has the best prices around. Their fees are included in the prices, so the price you see is the price you pay. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, that is promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, and go. Download GameTime today. So in case anyone missed it, after the game, Kevin Stefanski went to the press conference and opened his press conference by saying, we're going to evaluate everything. And then about 90 seconds in, and you can go find exactly where he says it, he was asked, does that mean you're sticking with Dillon Gabriel? And Kevin Stefanski responded, quote, yes, it does. So if you want to go find the exact bite, it's 92 seconds into his press conference yesterday. Mary Kay Cabot, Zach Jackson, Daniel Odefusi, all the beat reporters tweeting out the news as he delivered it. We all saw what Dillon did yesterday, guys. And, G, I want you to go second on this because you and I talked about it on the show. And I want to start with Jason because he's the only one that hasn't really given us his thoughts on the quarterback yet. But, Jason, he's sticking with Dillon Gabriel. In my opinion, this was the worst Dillon Gabriel performance we have seen to date in his 4 starts. And if you were in charge, would you make a quarterback change, or is the Browns and Kevin Stefanski going about this in the right manner by sticking with Dillon?
Here's the thing. How did we get here? They signed, and I was against Flacco. I was against the Flacco signing. I told you that at the time. Why are you signing a 4-year-old quarterback? But the fact is they had 2 veteran quarterbacks, and now somehow we have a 3rd-round rookie and a 5th-round rookie and a Bailey Zappi. Like, think about it. How did you wind up in this position? And I'll go back to, like, why did you trade Kenny Pickett? Why? Because he pulled his hamstring in training camp?
That is the answer.
So you trade the guy who very likely was going to be your starting quarterback for the year, but you trade him for a 5th because he pulled his hamstring? Mm-hmm. And now, and you can go back and relitigate the Flacco thing and what Tomlin said and if Kevin was on board all that. The reality is you started the year with 2 veterans, and now you've got a 3rd-round pick and a 5th-round pick. You want to change quarterbacks? Go ahead, change quarterbacks. I don't know what's really going to change. I mean, Jay laid it out. I've been saying it all along. The receivers are terrible. The Lions, there's no talent on this offense. So I don't know what quarterback you're going to put in there that is available to you that's going to change this or save this.
I don't know. The Jets had no talent on their offense yesterday, and they scored 40 points.
What happened? I didn't watch that game. Was their defense that bad?
Yes, their defense is that bad.
Okay, congratulations. The Jets now have 1 win.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the point is
they're just as bad as the Browns.
But their offense yesterday, for as bad as it is, was way better than I've seen the Browns' offense in 2 years. Why?
I don't know. I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch the game.
Sounds like because the Bengals defense is that awful.
They made a lot of plays. Yes, the Bengals defense stinks. The Patriots defense wasn't that good yesterday. The Browns just stink.
Yeah, they do. The Jets and the Browns are in the same league. That's where
the Patriots defense was great yesterday.
Well, every defense looks pretty good against the Browns.
It's hard to, and that's my point.
Did they get any consistent pressure?
It's hard to qualify what you're seeing. Like, what Miami did to Atlanta was confounding to me yesterday. Like, I don't know if they rallied around McDaniel because they learned he's not going anywhere. I don't know what that was all about. But it's such an odd league that Miami and the Jets can go out and play as well as they did yesterday.
But it's everybody but you.
My point is,
everyone but us.
Is that every other team has looked good on offense at least 1 or 2 times this year.
And the Browns scored 31 against Miami.
They did look good on offense.
No, they didn't. But you just told me the Jets scored 39. Well, the Browns scored 31.
They have 400 yards.
What I just said was other teams have looked good on offense. The Jets looked good on offense yesterday. The Browns have not looked good on offense once.
Because we don't have good players.
Neither do the Jets.
Here's the reality.
They were better than the Bengals defense yesterday.
Jay, here's the reality. We've all been told. These dudes told us from the analytical approach that they were in lockstep. They picked the players together. They choose the guys.
Well, they all go together.
There it is. It was a group decision. The Easter Bunny did not pick the players. Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry did.
Yeah.
Santa Claus didn't pick the players. So if you're sitting here saying, well, they're bad, who picked the bad players?
Yeah.
They did. Who coaches the bad players? Who puts you can't. This is what I told you 2 years ago. It's going to get to a point where you can't take a guy and Kevin's not going to get separated to the side anymore. He's going to have to own his mess. He's going to, and if he wants to play Dillon, trot him out there. Keep explaining to us why he's playing, and it's going to show us in real time you don't know what you're talking about. Because you told us in the draft this was your hand-picked quarterback. It is the exact reason Shedeur Sanders doesn't get reps, because he's going to give every opportunity for Dillon Gabriel to throw his way out of purgatory. It's the reason he dropped back 58 times against the Steelers. The jig is up, Kevin. We understand what it is. We get it. And when you don't have Quinshon Judkins to prop him up, you see what happens. The offense is terrible. Kevin Stefanski has been outcoached by all types of coaches. The offense is JV, high school, Lakewood, St. Ed's dump-offs. His best play was a tight end corner route and from Fannin. And after that happened, guess what? Mark Schlereth even said, hey, wow, look at these little receivers that the Browns have. Maybe they should get a guy that can go up and get one of those jump balls or something. He's talking to them like he's playing at Toledo or Eastern Michigan, playing against Ohio State.
It looked like.
And this is what they keep telling us is acceptable. I don't know what's worse, the fact that they told you that they was going to try to do this, or the fact that they trying to sell it to you in real time like that's an excuse. We told you we were going to be bad. That's not an excuse. You're bad. People get fired for that. I don't understand any of this. I don't understand how this dude is.
Jay,
how is he still here?
What did you make of Vrabel's comment after the game? I want to put him on the couch.
I don't think that was a shot.
Oh, it was.
I did.
It was a shot.
I thought it was.
It was a shot.
About the gimmick thing?
Yeah.
It's a shot.
But why is he taking a shot at him? Like,
doesn't make any sense.
He's a competitor.
He's a competitor, yeah, but I also think there's something in the relationship between Kevin and Mike. Mike is snarky by nature.
Yes.
I mean, if you know Mike, you
Yes,
know
he
he's
is.
snarky. And sometimes his snark is intentional. And sometimes you look at him and you're like, wait, are you being serious right now? And I don't know what he meant by it, but I do think that for him to say it publicly, because that's kind of who he is. I mean, he'll just say it. But if you dive down into that comment and he said it and he meant it, then what he's saying is, yeah, that offense, I mean, you can gimmick up some stuff here and there, but you're going to run out of that. And after that, there is nothing to it.
Okay, so I'll go back to what I said before about all the receivers, separation, all that. That all the data, take the emotion out of it.
Yeah.
The data tells you this offense sucks and they don't have talent.
Our run game is 29.
So I said, what do you want them to call?
Yeah,
and you said trick plays. Okay, they called a couple trick plays.
You're going to run out.
And then and
they did.
So again, I go back to what do you want them to call?
Yeah,
there's nothing here.
Nothing.
Once again,
nothing.
The Jets had nothing.
And Breece Hall had 130. You've been praising Breece Hall for years as a great running back.
I have not been praising.
Yes, you have.
He's a good running back.
Okay, he had 133 yards and 2 touchdowns. Thanks for the trade, Ant.
What's that?
No wonder you know every single yard and stat.
I just looked it up.
Can you name a wide receiver that played for the Jets yesterday?
That played for the Jets? No, because I didn't watch the game.
Yeah,
I just looked at Breece
They
Hall.
didn't have a single wide receiver do anything a single wide receiver that had ever done anything in their careers ever. Their top 2 wide receivers were out. Breece Hall was coming off an injury. Their tight end was coming off an injury.
Were there mistakes? Like I didn't even.
They made a
follow
lot
the
of good plays. Justin Fields did a good job. Made some good throws in the second half.
But there weren't
He
like
used
pick
his legs.
sixes. Like
no.
Now, can they do that again?
But can the Browns do it at all?
Can they do it again?
We've done it twice.
I don't know
We
that
got
they
2
can.
wins.
The Jets.
The Jets are a terrible football team. The Browns are a terrible football
My
team.
point is, Jason, that every other team, including the Jets, including the bad teams, occasionally have a good offensive game.
All right,
and the
great.
Browns have not done it once this
Okay,
year.
great.
And the team the Jets put out there
They're still
yesterday
gonna draft to the top
offensively
5.
was not any worse than what the Browns were putting out there.
Well, Bull, let me ask you a question. 'Cause
Yeah.
You tweeted or quote tweeted this earlier. We talked about it this morning. But John
Yeah.
Costco, who's been on the show before,
Yeah.
put out a tweet. And part of the reason the Browns struggled to move the ball offensively, and part of the reason, Bull, I think we don't see those one-off performances right now, is the quarterback play we've gotten recently is even subpar considering the standard of a Browns quarterback. And some of these tweets, and I understand it comes from PFF, and this is from John Costco, who works for PFF, kind of paint a picture of where Dillon Gabriel ranks among the league in some important categories through his 4 starts. And Steve, if you want to take this poll, you'll be able to read this, but you can see his 4 grades on the screen. These are PFF grades. Highest of the 4 was his first start, a 63.5, but it's the bottom line I want to mention that I want to point out here. Gabriel's the lowest graded passer in the NFL with a minimum of 100 attempts. He has the worst uncatchable throw rate, second lowest big-time throw rate, third worst in terms of the most turnover-worthy plays. He has the lowest positive grade rate, and he's the second worst in rhythm throwing.
So he's the worst quarterback in the league, is what you're saying.
Easily.
And that tracks because I thought the Vikings game was his best game. And he's progressively gotten worse.
Gotten worse each game.
Yeah.
Right.
And for me, I'm a point at Kevin Stefanski for 2 things that he keeps saying. If it's true that the word is that he's not ready, he's been in the Browns offense for what, 5 months now?
6 months.
I mean, on and off, with the mini camps and everything. Give him 6. Say 6. Why isn't he ready? You get him ready. It's your job to get him ready. Get him ready. Don't use that as an excuse.
I don't trust that he knows who's ready and who's not.
Well, and here's the other thing. The other thing is,
Yeah.
I need my quarterback to get better his first 4 games. He's gotten markedly worse each
yes.
time out.
Yeah.
Coach, what are you doing? What are you doing? I know you've got no players, but you can't. He had the same players with his 63.5 as he had with his 38.4.
And the damning part.
How's he getting worse?
The damning part about it is Joe Flacco looked the same way.
Yes.
And that's a veteran.
Yes.
The same way.
Actually, the talent around him got better because they had Njoku back yesterday.
And they've gotten some guys on the line have been healthy.
Right.
But there's also tape on him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what does he do? I mean, all he does is drop back and throw 3-yard passes.
I'm just saying now teams know it. Not that they didn't know what to expect, but his best game was his best game was his first game.
I guess.
And now teams know how to scheme him.
He wouldn't. It's funny because the other team on the other sideline is laughing, like, dude, that's the guy you're playing.
That's him.
They're laughing, like it's like they can't believe it. He would be a 3rd string quarterback, maybe on a fringe bad team.
You know what's funny? He was supposed to be the 3rd string quarterback on a bad team.
Yes, he was.
That was the job
was the
for 24 hours. That was the plan. 3rd string quarterback on a bad team. That's why I'm saying, how did we get to the point where he's now the starter in October?
We should discuss that.
I guess they're all in lockstep.
But
who was the first adult in the room to step forward and say, yeah, let's move on from Pickett?
I don't know.
You don't know?
See, this is.
You think they'd have any more wins with Kenny Pickett?
Yes.
I don't.
Gee, I want to hear what you're saying.
So this is the point. They've gassed you from Jump Street. We were told ad nauseum that Kenny Pickett was the guy who was getting reps. We like Pickett. We want to see what Pickett is.
I was saying that. Just like there was a couple of us, but I was saying
Didi, Mary Kay, Tony Grossi. There was multiple
the Browns
beat reporters
were putting out, though. That's why.
Multiple
the
reporters
Browns were putting that out.
Said that and then so he gets hurt. And my question is, just like you asked, how is it that you go from this guy getting the majority and the bulk of your reps to one day you coming in and he never plays it down for you, not in the regular season?
I said when they I don't understand what they're doing.
Makes sense.
I didn't understand any of it. I didn't understand the signing of Flacco, the trade of Kenny, and then when you move off Flacco, at the time when they traded Flacco, it's like, all right, well, he can't move, whatever. I did think he'd have a better shot with the Bengals just because who he was throwing to. And I took that as, okay, well, they must really like Dillon. Well, Dillon ain't it at all. And now you've left yourself in a position with no safety net whatsoever. And it really goes back. The Pickett one is the one that I can't wrap my head around of how we got to this point.
That really started the whole thing.
Because the organization they don't care about winning, and they're okay having a loser mentality. Like right now, they don't care about winning. That's clear.
No, they don't. I told you. I've said that since July.
And you can't just keep losing all the time.
Did you guys,
just keep
I don't know if
losing
you did any reporting or dug on it. We did upstairs. I didn't see the letter. the Browns sent the letter out to a group of season ticket holders.
On pricing?
Are you hearing some of these numbers? Jay.
I think Zach sent me something, actually.
This could be the end of the Cleveland Browns again.
Well,
I got a text from somebody who took the survey. We're going to do it later in the week.
Yeah.
I have screenshots of all the pricing and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just didn't have time to
Throw
put it all
some of the
together.
numbers out, Mike. Throw them out.
I literally have not gone through
PSL
any of it
numbers.
yet.
I
Lower
mean,
bowl.
I kept telling you guys there's
Did you
going to
see
be
what they
sticker.
were?
Yeah, with the sticker shock. I have it
Did
in
you see the
here.
$149,000 PSL ticket price?
For the lower bowl or some of the spots in lower bowl.
Who's
No,
gonna,
hold on.
Who's going to do that in Cleveland, Ohio?
Hold on. You said
That's for one.
Hey, go ahead.
Nobody
be
buys
shy.
one.
Don't be shy.
New stadium.
Hey, listen. Don't
Why
be shy.
do you think I've been telling you all they care about is
Nah.
2029?
Hold on.
Jay, here's
Hold
the
on.
problem with that.
No, Jay.
You can't put a garbage product
Jay.
in there and expect people to
Jay.
pay
Totally
that.
agree.
They was upfront about how much money they wanted from them taxpayers. We should be upfront about how much they trying to shove these tickets down your throat in a bad product. How much did you say they were? I don't want to be mush-mouthed now. They in the news every week talking about how we getting this, we about to get this. They good with all that stuff, but you got an email back chain about how much the prices cost? They telling you right now, you ain't got the money for it. But
Wait
you
till
better,
they get those
But
results.
you better find one. 149, like you talking house money.
Gee, that's for the right to purchase tickets.
How is it even legal? How is
Oh,
that
it's
even
very
legal?
Bull, it's a free and open market.
Yeah.
Here's what's legal
for some
about
people,
it.
Jay. It's only for rich people. It's a free and open
No.
market. Yes.
You're asking from the business
Yes.
side of it. How is
Yeah.
it legal? You can do whatever you want.
Charge
that
whatever
doesn't
you
mean
want.
the consumer's going to be dumb enough to pay it. Look at Yankee Stadium.
I was just thinking that.
Look
I was just
at
thinking
Yankee
that.
Stadium.
Yeah.
I remember when
And
they
that's
were building
New York.
it. And the funny thing is, like, I had a big conversation, more of a debate with a guy who told me that it would never matter how much tickets were at Yankee Stadium. This was right before they opened the new one. And I go, let me tell you
This is
something.
crazy, man.
It does matter. Because at some point, you ask yourself this, is it worth the enjoyment? Now, the Yankees win. Watch any regular season home Yankee game and look at the premium seats. Just look at them. They're surprisingly empty. We have more people in our premium seats at Progressive Field, and we're near the bottom of attendance, than they do. Why? Well, the Yankees overcalculated. They made the calculation that my buddy, who was a lifetime New Yorker and Yankees fan, you can never price Yankee fans out of the ballpark. Well, they have. And that's the number one market in the United States of America in terms of financial, household wealth, all of that. And we're going to try to do that here. This might be, and Jimmy's made some major miscalculations when it comes to how to run a football team. This might be the single biggest miscalculation, and I don't know. I can't wait until they get the results from the surveys because they're asking their customers, their diehard customers, about what the pain threshold is with tickets.
Good
luck with that.
Only way they get that off is they find a quarterback. That's the only way you're getting it off. That's the only way. And by the way,
But here's the problem.
Now you sound like me. This
Yeah,
is
but-
what I've been
but-
saying
but
for
you-
months.
if you want to gas that price, you better have
Okay,
in place.
how many Clevelanders do you know? Now, and you don't just buy one season ticket. Nobody does that. You go with someone. You don't want to go and sit by yourself. Spend $150,000 for the right to buy tickets.
They're counting on 8 people to split it.
I don't know anybody.
Okay, that's fine. But
I know
if
nobody.
8 people split it, you get one game for $1.50.
Yeah, yeah.
The problem here is this.
And I think they're starting high, and the prices will probably come down.
Well, if they were trying to shock and awe, they did.
Yeah.
I'll take screenshots from the survey. We'll do it later
Yeah,
this week.
it's
I
worth
don't have
diving
it
into.
Let me tell you
It's worth
this.
diving into.
They might not want to hear it, but Jimmy, I'm gonna tell you this. Oh, there's some people that would show up to that game. There's people that never seen a Colorado game in their whole entire life, and they bought season tickets, and they live out of state. I'm telling you, you think I'm playing? They'll pull up. You think they throw it in the comment section? You see if you
At 150,000.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you. Listen, I ain't gonna say 150,000, but let me
Okay.
tell you something. If they play Shedeur Sanders, I'm gonna tell you what. There is rich Like there are rappers and entertainers that pull up on sidelines.
You better have 70,000 of them.
Just on. Listen. By the way, the calculus is already written in there. How do you think that it blew up? He said it blew up in 24 hours. Their plan was never to draft Shedeur Sanders.
Never.
But somebody pulled up in the middle of the night and said, we can't afford to take that marketing chip off the table.
Jimmy said when we left the draft Friday night, I'm paraphrasing, drafting Shedeur was not on the table. And yet Saturday, Shedeur was drafted here. Yeah. And I don't have connected.
Gee, I think I know where you're going with this.
Yes, I do.
I think what you're doing is saying, but here's the thing.
Yes, I do.
That might be the largest leap of faith of all time because he was drafted in calendar year 2025. You're moving into the new stadium in 2029. You're making a calculus that a 5th round draft pick is going to be so good that he can start for the Browns in 4 years. We haven't had a quarterback do that.
No. My calculus is this. Jimmy understands. I made this analogy. I don't know nobody that builds a new house and brings in old furniture. If you build a house from the ground up, I ain't bringing nothing from my old furniture.
Well, new furniture would be a college graduate in 2028.
No, new furniture.
No, you got to have something who's established, who is a star.
We're going to do that in 2 years?
I keep telling you, all they care about is 2029.
But here's the thing.
They have these drafts to get ready for that.
Let me finish what I was
They're
going
not
with.
getting there by
Let me finish
2029.
what I'm saying. You know what new furniture is? A new regime. Every time you say
we've had a lot of new furniture.
No, hold on. But here's the thing, Jay. See, you're a little older. You don't fall for the trick. They only got to fool the young people. They only got to fool the 50 and 40.
Yeah, but you got to fool them every year.
But no, if you get a new regime, guess how many years that we all preach?
Well, that'll be 2 regimes by 2029.
Yeah, it probably will.
Probably will. A new regime gives you 2 years. A new regime gives you, hey, I want my quarterback. I get to have my guys.
I got to tell you,
I'm telling you.
I said with the Deshaun Watson trade that this is going to set the team back a decade. It's going to be a decade. It will.
All right, well, let's leave that for now. We're going to get to Stefanski later.
Before we move on real quick.
Take us to the one good news of the day here.
I will. Before we do that, real quick, yes or no answer. Stefanski said he would not make a quarterback change after the bye. We'll find out what he says later today. Jay, we'll start with you. Yes or no, would you, if you were in charge?
I would absolutely make the change.
Okay.
He absolutely will not.
G.
Facts. Exactly what he said. No,
Jason?
he ain't doing it. I would do it. He's not.
I don't have a strong opinion either way.
Either way.
I really do. I don't think it's going to matter.
Well, remember a couple of weeks ago, we left here, and we all had said on the show, Shedeur's the 3. He's going to be the 3. Everything's lean. And we finished the show, and we were standing in the parking lot, and Mikey walked out, and he goes, Shedeur's the 2. I mean, it's like, and we looked at each other, and you know what we said? That's the Browns.
There's
no
you
reason,
never know what they're going to do.
There's no reason not to play Shedeur Sanders. So
I think Shedeur is going to play at some point this season.
Can I ask a question? I didn't see it. I only saw it from one person, so I don't know if it's true. All this stuff you hear and see. Someone said that Jimmy's grandkids were on the field wearing 12s.
That was the Miami game.
Was that true?
I didn't see their faces. I don't know if that was his grandkids, but
somebody had said.
But I mean, go back and look at that famous Jets picture from a few years ago.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it probably was them, but I didn't see their faces.
So the reason why I know it's a hedge, but that you got to hedge with the Browns because you just don't know. I say Kevin will not make the decision to put Shedeur in after the bye.
I agree with that.
However, if Jimmy comes down and says, "I want to see the kid,"
it is what it is.
Then he's in.
Yeah,
that's it.
All right, we'll get to more Stefanski stuff in a second. Before we move on, a quick word from RuJit. What do you get when you combine a bald eagle standing on a gorilla riding a T-Rex? You get confidence. And if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet RuJit Go. It's not just another ED pill. It's a total game changer for confidence. If you're ready to level up your confidence in the bedroom, head to RuJit.com and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for 15% off your first order. That's RuJit, RuJiet.com. Promo code LOCKEDONNFL. Make sure to use our code so they know we sent you. As Bo mentioned, the one good thing from yesterday was Myles Garrett. 5 sacks, an incredible individual performance. He rewrote the Browns' single-game record book, but it was all for naught. They still lost by 19 points. During the game, you could see Garrett visibly frustrated, slamming his helmet. Bo, how do you put into context what we saw from Myles, both on the field, both off the field, and in his post-game interview where he said he's incredibly frustrated and he just wants to win. He traded all for a win, knowing that he had the team basically at will asked for a trade and then ended up signing a giant contract. So how do you put that all into context, knowing what Miles did yesterday?
So for me, I know it's easy, and we've said this a lot of times. I don't feel bad for him. And I don't. Like, he knew what he was getting into. However, I hear his frustration. It doesn't mean just because he signed a contract, the Browns were not going to trade him. It was a cap situation where they couldn't have traded him, so he might as well, in that case, have taken the money. Now, you could say a couple of years ago when he initially signed the extension, you could say, well, then he shouldn't have done it. That's his fault, and that's fine. But the team was in a better place then than it was this past offseason. So I do have sympathy for him, even though, like, he did put himself to some degree in this situation. There's no doubt about it. He almost single-handedly kept them in this game for a while. Don't, as my friend G. Bush would say, don't get it twisted. The defense did not play well.
No.
We could kill the offense all we want. The defense did not play a good game here. Myles Garrett was great. Alex Wright, I think, is really starting to emerge. I thought it would happen last year. And there was not much else for the defense. Mike had to tell me that Mason Graham played in this game because I wasn't sure he was out there. So 5 and 4 of the sacks were when the game was still reasonably competitive. It was an amazing performance. He was dominating on the line. They were double-teaming him. They were chipping him. None of it mattered. He set the Browns record for sacks in a game. He set the league record for sacks before 30. He became just the 20th player in the history of the league with 5 or more sacks in a game. I mean, the accolades are nonstop. And somebody said to me he's going to be the Mike Trout of football. And he is. He's going to be the Mike Trout of football. He's never going to win anything. Same as Joe Thomas. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. The Browns are going to go down as a team that in a stretch of a decade and a half had one of the greatest offensive linemen of all time and one of the greatest defensive linemen of all time. For a brief time, they crossed over, and yet they never won a single thing with either of them because they had no ability to get better, good enough around them, coach good enough around them, do anything good enough around them. His performance was sensational. I take nothing away. If anybody does, that's beyond lame. He's tied for the league lead in sacks with 10. It's remarkable. He has so many disadvantages compared to other pass rushers in this league. You look at the T.J. Watts and Max Crosby and all these other guys. Nobody gets double-teamed more than he does. Nobody plays on a crappier team than he does. He's had little talent around him in his career, although it's better now. It is remarkable what he does on the field, and I love the fact that he was pissed off on the sideline because, in the postgame, whatever, he could create an answer that he thinks the media is going to like, but his natural reaction being pissed on the sideline, he doesn't know the camera's on him then. And the fact that he had an all-time historic game, and yet he didn't care, that said a lot to me. So much respect for Myles Garrett. I thought that was one of, if not the best game I've ever seen him play. He was remarkable, and because the team is a piece of crap, nobody's going to remember it outside of Cleveland. That's a shame.
Nobody's ever disputed he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Unbelievable.
I still think they should have traded him. And they could have traded him. They would have had to have waited till after the new year begins because of cap reasons and everything else. Had he stuck to it, he didn't have any leverage. He was under contract for, 2 more years, I think it was. Mm-hmm. He had no leverage, but he was telling the truth. And had he kept down that road and not reported, he could have forced their hand, and he didn't. He took the money, which is well within his rights. He's got a lot of money for a lot of the pain and suffering that's coming his way, but he knew what he was signing up for. He knew when he signed that contract, he was signing his NFL career away by staying here. And the Browns will now squander 2 Hall of Fame careers in Joe Thomas and Myles Garrett. And it's sad, it's shameful on the part of the organization, but no, I don't have any sympathy for him because he knew what he was signing up for. He knew this was going to be the path, and it hurts in the moment. Yes, of course it hurts in the moment. And I'm glad he's pissed. I'm glad he's throwing, at least somebody is. At least somebody on that team is, because I don't know how many of them. I think a lot of them, everybody knew going in that this was a bad football team. They knew it, and it's playing out that way.
Listen, you got the cap hit, $68 million. If you do it post-June, reports is it's $32 million. That's the largest dead cap hit in the history of the game. There was no way they could trade him and keep Deshaun Watson's number. There's no way.
Well, that with both. No,
I get tired of saying it because I know people get tired of hearing it. Every position that the Browns are in right now can be traced back to the Deshaun Watson trade. Every single one of them.
Well, if that,
right.
Again, I don't think I don't think Lucky the Leprechaun came up and said they took him. They made the trade.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. They made the move. It backfired. You took an L. Like, it's crazy. And my thing is, what they tell you all the time is, this is crazy. We value and admire our coach more than a Hall of Fame player. Instead of making a move, we will talk about Myles Garrett's leadership. We will talk about Myles Garrett, what he can and can't do. We'll talk about Myles Garrett and his speeding tickets. We'll talk about Myles Garrett. But guess what? We value our coach, who we don't want to let go, that can't tackle nobody, game plan, do nothing. We side with Kevin. Listen, the Browns got a generational type player that they fell into. They didn't draft him. They grew up on third base and they screwed that up. You got Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward from the previous regime. You inherited Nick Chubb. You inherited Baker Mayfield. Baker's living his best life. You wasted Nick Chubb's time. He ended up getting injured. And now you got Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward, and you're wasting that effort too. By the way, think about what they would be if they didn't have those players. They'd be 0 for the last 3 or 4 years. They would be 1-2 wins. And the crazy part about it is they still got Myles Garrett and still get 3-4 wins. Can you imagine? This is wild to me. He's going to go down. I play defensive end. And he plays it at such a miraculous level that the fact that we not even giving 5 sacks the respect that it needs. Do you understand how good you got to be to get 2 sacks? The man got 5. He broke his own record. The dude does it, and he's getting triple teamed. Watch the first 3 sacks. Swimming. Get off me. That's another dude. He's getting blocked. The fullback's on me. Get out of here. I'm going to move around. I'm going to chase the quarterback and tackle him. I would have did more than throw helmets. I would have did way more than throw helmets. He's been professional. I would have went off. I'd have put the ultimatum down. I would actually tell myself, and they say, well, you get mad with this. I'd have to go talk to Jimmy Haslam myself. Yeah, Jimmy. See, here, I didn't have no leverage before, but let me tell you about the leverage I got now. If you thought you couldn't trade me before I signed this contract, you sure as hell can't trade me now. No. And you can't trade Denzel Ward, and you can't trade Grant Delpit. And if you want to keep trotting Kevin out here, taking these L's, playing these reindeer games, here's what we'll do. My hamstring accidentally hurts. Rush the passer. You know what? Denzel has a headache. Go stop the best receivers. Don't play around with the leverage game. Yeah, you had the leverage, but guess what? The rabbit has the gun now. It ain't funny when he got it, because guess what? You can't trade him now.
And who gave him all the leverage? They did.
They did.
They gave him. He had none of it. Now he's got all of it.
Now he got the hammer.
That's how good negotiators they are.
Whack-a-mole. Now here's how we're gonna go. Now it's very uncomfortable because I thought it was funny. I said Myles Garrett is giving offensive coordinator. I thought Quinshawn should have got the ball more down in the second half. I thought that we did a bad job of moving away. I said, dang, Myles. He got a do-rag on up there, white tee. He got his head. I said, he real comfortable. This not going to turn out good, fellas. It's not. I'm telling you that right now. It's not going to turn out good because it's going to get progressively worse.
By the way, who's the only Browns player since Myles Garrett's been here to have more than 2 sacks in a game besides him?
Malik Collins.
No.
Collins had 2 in a game.
Dalvin Tomlinson.
More than 2. I said more than 2.
Dalvin Tomlinson, 3 sacks.
Jadeveon Clowney.
No. Yeah.
Tomlinson had 3 against Arizona.
There's 2 guys. Sorry. Tomlinson and Olivier Vernon both had 3 sacks.
Wow, shout out to him. Olivier Vernon. We thought he was going to
those guys are both D tackles, too.
Yeah. He is the only reason to watch this football
at all.
He's the only reason to watch. They will let you down on offense. This defense isn't very good, guys. I know we said they were really good. They're not very good. They're not. You take him off that defense, they're not very good.
Hey, Mason, I didn't see you out there, buddy.
And I saw confusion. I saw guys taking the wrong guy. I saw guys leaving guys wide open. Good players.
And now Carson Schlesinger is hurt.
Now he's hurt. Now watch that.
Yeah, what's the deal with him? Do we know how
High
serious
ankle.
it is?
Confirmed high ankle sprain. Test came back this morning.
And that's
out
4 to 6.
4 to 6
always.
weeks.
Oh,
Yeah, you stuck there with high ankle.
Now you got Devin Bush and Baker out there just
We're going to find out.
Yeah, we're going to find out real quick.
You know, we've tried to say, well, gosh, it's such Jekyll and Hyde. When they're home, they're so good. When they're on the road, they're not. That's who they are. They're not that good. Denzel is great. Denzel is, I think, will likely go down as the greatest player ever to play his position. And that is big talk because there's...
Good Lord.
I know. Miles Garrett.
Oh, I thought you said Denzel.
Oh, you said Denzel.
No,
You did say Denzel.
Oh, I meant Miles. Yeah, no, Denzel.
Okay, yeah, that would have been
To me,
crazy.
I think Denzel, if I'm Denzel Ward, with the concussions that he's had and the risk that you face when you go out there with multiple concussions, if I'm Denzel Ward, the next concussion I get, I'm out.
No, but this is facts. I mean, you weren't that far off. Who, if you ask all-time corners for the Cleveland Browns, who you putting?
Oh, no, I'm saying
he's saying all time.
I'm saying
Oh, okay.
Miles Garrett,
Oh no, yeah, he's
when it's said and done, he may be
may
looked
be.
at as the
He
greatest
probably
single
won't because he
pass
wouldn't have
rusher
had that
ever.
playoff moment.
And I've said this for a number of years,
Yeah.
that the indictment of this franchise is that we wasted 2 of the all-time greats.
I mean, he's
Joe
right there.
Thomas is top 5 or 10 ever to play his position and won nothing.
I mean,
And Miles Garrett may go down as the greatest ever to play his position. And think about that. You touched on it, but 5 sacks and a 19-point loss.
that is
Because usually you're thinking, well, the team's not going to be throwing that much if
Right.
they're up 3 touchdowns.
here's the way I felt watching it. And Jason, you can remember this. It was like watching LeBron James against the Warriors, Game 1 in Oakland. And they playing Kevin Durant and the greatest team ever assembled. And LeBron James goes nuclear, 50-point triple-double. He carried them. He controlled the pace. He played defense, and he's carrying around Larry Nance, Clarkson, and these other dudes. And then J.R. Smith. Then J.R. Smith
Forgot the score.
forgot what the score was.
At least that game was close.
And LeBron goes in the locker room, punches a wall, and then he was done.
Yeah.
Because he said, I gave all of this. I was here. And at that moment, LeBron James knew he might have thought he was leaving. Oh, he knew he was leaving after that, Game 1. Miles Garrett, that helmet throw is the culmination. And I don't want to get too serious, but guys, the reason it's serious is because you look at some of the things that's happening with players after they play. Guys with brain injuries, guys with CTE, guys put their bodies in certain positions. You know, the news about Doug Martin came out and all these other different things. You look at some of these players.
Nick Mangold
just passed away. Look at the health of players who play this type of game. Their life expectancy is shortened. Yes, they get paid a bunch of money. But guess what? It's a very dangerous sport, and it's the most popular sports. If you love capitalism, you shouldn't talk about people's money because that's what we built on, right? That's our principles. But when you going out there putting your body on the line and you know I'm signing up for 5 to 10 less years on my lifespan, yeah, it's going to be a little important for you to win. People are going to be a little upset about that because I already know what's coming at the end of this thing. So at least we can acknowledge and say, listen, man, yeah, we should not be doing stuff where it's like we're gonna reset and we don't care about winning. That's crazy. You saying that and you got the best non-quarterback player. You use 3, 4, 5 draft picks to hit on a guy like that, and you still don't win.
I always, to answer the question, I don't feel sorry for Miles Garrett, but there is a shame in what's happening to him. He took the money. He wanted the money. He got the deal. It's one of those deals with the devil. You know what it is. He knows that this organization is not capable of digging themselves out of this hole. What we typically do is dig hole deeper. And that's what we're doing. We're digging the hole deeper. So I don't feel sorry for him, but here's the real shame of it. I really wish, for Miles and for the fans' sake, that he could have played meaningful football. He has really only played in his entire Browns career 2 meaningful games. And that is a tragedy. When you consider that a guy like Ben Roethlisberger, for every snap he took in his career,
It meant something.
he had a chance to make the playoffs. Even his final games in years they didn't make the playoffs, he suited up and took the field knowing if things fall our way, we are going to the playoffs. For every year of his career. And this dude has played 2 meaningful games. It's a shame. But at the end of it, he's going to live very comfortably on a ranch in Texas with a lot of dead presidents and maybe some regret that he never got to be the kind of impact player that we all wanted him to be, and I'm sure he wants to be.
All right, guys, let's get on to our next topic here, because Jimmy Haslam said some comments over the weekend that we have to touch on. Those comments are brought to us by Prize Picks. Every day we make decisions, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss the excitement this football season with Prize Picks, where it pays to be right. Prize Picks is fun, simple, and adds excitement to your football Sunday. Just pick more or less on player projections, and you're in the game. It's that easy. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use promo code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first 5. That's code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 in lineups after you play your first 5. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, guys, the NFL had its annual league meetings, and a bunch of the owners from across the league went to New York, discussed the future of the league, and Diana Rossini of The Athletic caught up with a couple of them, and one of those included Jimmy Haslam. This is what Jimmy Haslam told Diana Rossini in The Athletic about Kevin Stefanski and his future. This is Jimmy Haslam to Diana Rossini, who said, quote, and this is Jimmy Haslam, "Kevin's done a really good job with us, and we've made some tough breaks. A big trade we made didn't work out, and, we're all suffering from that. Kevin, I thought, did a really good job of rallying the troops last week at a really critical time. You can find out about leaders when things are bad, not when they're good, and he did a good job last week." Rossini then went on to say, paraphrasing your conversation with Jimmy, that he was giving Kevin Stefanski the vote of confidence. Bull, you see those comments from Saturday.
Yeah.
Then we see what happened on Sunday against the Patriots. Do you think Kevin Stefanski can survive if things continue to look like they have, regardless of what Jimmy Haslam said to Diana Rossini?
I'm ready to move on from the entire organization, like everybody. However, that doesn't appear to be the case. Now, with Jimmy, you never know. He's a billionaire. He can change his mind at any point. But right now, if you look at the behavior of Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry, the way they've gone about things this year, they're behaving as if they're not leaving. Right? I mean, you see that behavior. And the way they're handling things, the way they gave away 2 veteran quarterbacks, no matter how good you thought they were going to be, for late draft picks, the way you're playing a quarterback and not even thinking for a minute about playing somebody else when you're 2-6, right?
Yeah.
2-6, correct.
Like, their behavior leads you to believe they're not going anywhere. You see that. You see that in all walks of life, right? So if somebody's behaving like they have nothing to, that they can't lose, that they're in a situation where there's no threat of them losing their job, then you think they were secure. I as crazy as it is to me, they're behaving like 2 guys not worried about losing their jobs. So I don't think they're going to, unless Jimmy Haslam changes his mind.
You sound like me.
Yeah.
I've been. You guys keep yelling at me. I've said that all year.
I'm not yelling at you. I'm just listen. I don't agree with it. But I think it is what it is.
I was thinking about this morning with all the Kevin stuff, and because I've been saying, like, you want to fire him, fire him. I'm not going to argue with you. But I still think he's a good NFL coach because of the nonsense that he has to overcome in Berea. And I was thinking about this. I've been doing this 25 years. I've covered college football, NFL, NBA, where I've been in close contact with high-level coaches, and you get to see the operation a little bit more than what you do on screen. There are 2 coaches I've covered, 2 in 25 years, where I looked at them and said, oh no, something here doesn't look right. This is not how it's supposed to look. This can't happen. And that was David Blatt and Freddie Kitchens.
Right.
Those were the 2 guys where I'm like, they got to go. With Blatt, it was obvious from day one, like, oh no, Like LeBron is drawing up the plays and Blatt's in the huddle going, "Oh, okay, that looks good." And Ty Lue's calling the timeout. Like, it was just bad. And Freddie, the entire operation, I think it was the Rams game, week 2 or week 3, where I wrote after that game, guys, something is drastically wrong here. You can tell by this, the sideline was not in order. There was just chaos and dysfunction. And I wrote after week 8, I think it was, the Denver loss, they're going to have to fire Freddie. Like, this cannot continue. This is not sustainable, because it was that obvious and evident. I don't get that feeling with Kevin. I just don't get that feeling. When he has talent, he has won. And I don't ever use the 2-time coach of the year. You can look for hours on footage of this show. I have never once used that as a defense of him, and I'm not going to now. But I think what it shows you is that the league, and I don't have facts or proof of this. This is my opinion. The reason he's won those awards is because you get bonus points for doing it in Cleveland. Because it is so dysfunctional here that you look and say, well, if you won in Cleveland, you got to know what you're doing, because nobody can win there. I think Mike Pettin is a guy who I was covering the NBA at the time, but I think he's a guy that had he had an opportunity outside of Cleveland, he could have been a good NFL head coach. But I think the poison of Cleveland after he left here, he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I never want to do this again. And he probably has passed on opportunities to evolve in his career because he was so scarred by what happened here. I think when Kevin has the talent here, he can win here. And Garrett, you're right that they've been aligned. Like Barry and Kevin have been aligned. But I don't think Kevin is picking the linebackers and the receivers. He 100% picked Dillon. Yes, that is his pick. And he'll have to live and die with that pick. But like linebacker in the second round, do you think how much did Kevin really scout Carson Schlesinger? Probably not a lot. That's what the scouting department, what the GM is for.
Well, here's what I will say to this. If you have a second-round pick and you made a decision that, hey, Jackson Dart is not it, I'm okay with trading down and then not taking another quarterback. I'm sure he had a big say in, well, are we going to take a quarterback high or low?
Absolutely. And
if he loved Jackson Dart,
how about a wide receiver?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like those decisions, he's in on those decisions.
Well, I think quarterback, he had a big voice in this draft. I think he had a big voice on quarterback, and so and listen, I was the first one to say if Jackson Dart's a hit, you can fire everybody. And I mean, Mike, you probably watched Dart more than anybody. I think he's had some like really good moments, and I think he's had some meh moments.
I mean, he's been up and down.
Yeah.
But there's clearly something there.
Yeah.
Like there's tangible stuff you could look at and build upon that says, oh, we like
where we don't have that with our guy.
Okay, but go through the list. Go through the list. They couldn't get to Cam Ward. They weren't going to get there.
No.
Next quarterback taken was Dart.
Yep.
Yes.
Next quarterback taken was Shuck.
Tyler
Shuck.
Yeah, the guy I can't say.
Who went in the second half yesterday, and we'll see.
He did not look good yesterday, but it's half a game.
And we'll see. And then was there another quarterback taken before Dillon?
Jalen Milroe was taken 2 picks before. He's played like 6 snaps this year in Wildcat duty.
So my point is there's not a great – we'll see on Dart. Dart could be. But aside from that, there's no great quarterback that was available to them who has blown everybody's doors off. Is that fair?
Yeah,
can we agree on that?
That's why they made the trade.
So they had no cap space to go out and get a guy.
No.
Like Daniel Jones. I'll just throw that out there because he was making $14 million. They had to shop in the basement bin of the Kenny Pickett's and the Joe Flaccos. That's the reality. Take the emotion out. The reality is that's the aisles that they were shopping in to find their quarterback. They couldn't get to Cam Ward. So, yeah, Kevin said, give me Dillon. I like Dillon. And he has not looked good. But again, the groceries they were picking over were all pretty rotten.
So he picked Kenny Pickett. He said, yo, that's the guy I want to identify. He gave them no reps. We just spent a half hour talking about inexplicably they jettisoned him. He says Joe Flacco is the quarterback. He didn't look good while he was here. Inexplicably, during the middle of the week, they jettisoned him. 10 days later, he throws for 300 yards. They said they like Dillon Gabriel. They gave Dillon Gabriel. They've been picking him. He had reps from day one. He's in the game, has not looked good. They made a decision and said they wanted Deshaun Watson. He was here. He played his games. Did not look good. They made a decision on all of these quarterbacks. They said DTR, right? He had an opportunity to play DTR. DTR didn't even know he was playing half the time. He just didn't. So when you say that Freddie Kitchens, there were some things off. No, there's some things off here too. When your quarterback does not know he's going to be playing in a football game, that's an issue, and you're the coordinator.
And just because you're not as bad, I think everybody would agree Kevin Stefanski's better than Freddie Kitchens. But just because you're not as bad as Freddie Kitchens doesn't mean you shouldn't be fired at some point.
No,
G doesn't buy that, by the way.
I don't buy that.
And just because there's
No, he's
not
not as bad as-
dysfunction
I don't
on
buy
the
that.
sidelines,
oh, it's not even close.
you
I don't
expect
buy that.
that at a bare minimum.
Hold on. Go back and look at it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it like this. Just look at the stats. When Freddie Kitchens was here, he was here 1 year. He had a running back, 1,400 yards. Well, that's pretty good, right?
It's great.
All right. He had a receiver, 1,100 yards.
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty good, right? Another receiver, another 1,000 yards, right? Yeah. If Kevin Stefanski, by the way, your quarterback almost threw for 4,000 yards.
Yeah, I think what Jay might be saying is, as an offensive coordinator, serviceable.
There
but
was
as
other things.
Hold on, but here's the thing.
The dysfunction on the sideline.
In the end, it doesn't matter.
So the point I'm making is, if we can all agree that he got fired with that production, my thing is I can't sit up here and make no excuses for a guy who don't even have that level of production, and you still have a level of dysfunction with him without the results.
There isn't the sideline and all this dysfunction behind the scenes to anywhere close to the same degree, but it doesn't matter. The bottom line is Kevin Stefanski's now been here 6 years. They've won one playoff game in his tenure. He has a losing record. Obviously, being the coach of the Browns negatively impacts him, just like being the coach of the Jets or the Bengals, or
Panthers.
the
Panthers is another
Panthers.
one.
Like, yes, all these things factor in, but to me, the ultimate indictment. And yes, maybe in another circumstance, Kevin Stefanski would be a better coach. We'll see. I'm not as convinced as you are. I know you're convinced somebody's giving him a head coaching job next year. I don't believe that for a minute, but we'll see. I'm not saying he won't ever get one again. I just don't buy it'll be next year.
I don't know if he would take one again. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. But here's the thing. In addition to the fact that they've gone backwards since he first started here, right? They've won 0 playoff games since his rookie year. They've made 1 playoff appearance since his rookie year. Who on their offense in his tenure has he helped improve? Has he gotten the most out of? I just can't point to anybody. Can you?
Who he's gotten better?
Yeah.
Judy last year, and then he's fallen off a cliff.
Who?
Judy last year was the best year of his career, and then he's fallen off a cliff this year to get literally.
But Jerry Judy
yesterday.
had his best, did his best. Now I'll give Kevin Stefanski some credit because he is the head coach.
Go ahead, give it to him.
But Jerry Judy did his best when Kevin Stefanski was not the play caller.
I'm just saying, you asked for a player who had
Okay,
their best
so
year
that's one
with the
guy
Browns.
who is
He's
now
one guy.
now is having his worst year of his career
Yes.
in the following season.
I thought early in his career, I thought he was really good with Baker.
Right, but Baker's been his best somewhere else.
After a couple of years in between, and I think part of that falls on Baker. Listen, I don't think Kevin is an elite coach. I've never said that he is.
Right.
I've never said that he is. I think he's good at managing the obstacles that come with where he is. We've done digging on a couple stories that never ran. And so I get to go to the NFL owners meetings and I get to talk to everybody, right? We talk to all these different people with all these different teams. And inevitably, and maybe some of these stories will run, maybe I doubt that they are, but we've done extensive work on how the Browns function, how they operate, top down, stuff like that. There's
Is it
reasons,
because you can't get enough?
Yes.
And that's the problem.
There's like 2 things that we just can't get over the line of, like, the New York Times has such a high threshold of sourcing.
Bring it, brother!
The Times has such a high threshold of sourcing that there's 1 or 2 things that we just haven't been able to. And if we can get those 1 or 2 things over the line, we'll probably run it.
Go on Fox News. You can say whatever you want.
You can say whatever you want here.
But
Trust me, the things I've heard on this show, say it.
But I'm just telling you, like, the thought around the league, the way teams view Cleveland, and what you have to overcome to win here. That's why he is respected. I know Browns fans hate him. I get it. I know. I understand why. I'm telling you, around the league, people look at him and go, well, of course. I mean, look, it's Cleveland. Like, he's got to overcome the Haslams. He's got to overcome all of this and how they operate and how they function. He's got no chance.
But don't they say the same thing about the Jets?
Yeah.
Why are the Jets any different?
No, they're not. They say the same thing about the Jets. Jets have recycled head coaches like underwear.
Alex Smith was on one of those morning shows on ESPN just going off on Woody Johnson.
And he should. Woody
I would
Johnson
put Woody in
is
the
in the
same
same
category.
category
Yes,
as
is
Jimmy
Jimmy.
Haslam.
Yeah.
And the problem here is, and I wish you guys would do it. We've had off-camera conversations about it. I get the sourcing, particularly with the New York Times, and you have to multiple source. I get all of that.
There are things that I know I know, but I can't prove it to a level
Right.
that
so here is my issue with that. I've said their level of transparency is like TASS news agency. Like, you can't get. We don't know what Paul DePodesta does. We don't know. I don't know. He's a boogeyman. He does something. He's chief strategy officer. He lives in San Diego, and he calls shots. Maybe he texts plays. I have no idea. We don't know. I want questions answered as a fan, and this is where I talk about. They're going to ask the sticker price to be a Browns fan and go to the games is going to go up tenfold. Whatever it is, dramatically, it's going to increase. My hope with all of that is that will be the threshold that these fans won't cover. These are the best fans in the world.
Yeah.
What this fan base puts up with is nothing short of remarkable. But we're going to find out what their level of pain is, what their threshold is. I wish we would know who drove the bus on Deshaun Watson. All roads lead back to that. Everything. There was a human being in this organization that was the first to bring his name up. I want to know who it was. If I'm going to spend money to go buy this product, I want to make sure that the product, when I go to a restaurant, I know the ingredients, I know what I'm dealing with. I don't know who is to blame. And so because I don't know, and I know you've dug on this.
But do you know on any team who's to blame?
A lot of teams are much more transparent than this
Not
team.
on this.
No, they are.
On stuff like that, I
maybe
can't
not
imagine.
on that, but like the question of Paul DePodesta and the boogeyman, and he's behind the curtain, and
I know that's been out there. I've said that. It was Barry. Barry's the one who brought his name up first.
Bye.
Andrew did the work.
Bye.
Andrew did the work on Deshaun when he was in Philly in 2019 or whatever that year was. Like, that's when he first sort of became
so if he was a
enamored.
shipbuilder,
But
he built the Titanic.
But
would you let him build another ship?
that's why I said if you want to fire everybody last year. That was the time to do it. Deshaun was a disaster. It was a debacle.
Because we
Sweep
don't
everybody
know,
out.
Here's the one thing I know for certain.
Now, because he was the first one to bring it up, doesn't mean he was the one that wanted to put it over the line.
In my mind, none of it happens if Jimmy doesn't say write the check.
Yes.
So Jimmy, to me, ultimately, and Jimmy took responsibility this summer.
Which is why
he fell on that sword.
Which is why nobody got fired.
Right. I get
why.
all that. But here's the deal. I can't root for a team anymore that is owned by Jimmy Haslam. I can't do it. And I came to that realization watching the game yesterday. I had over 20 people at our house for our baseball party. Everybody was watching the game. My level of interest in that game, not just because there was a party, was the lowest level of interest I've ever had in a Browns game at any point in my life. That includes 0-16. I don't care anymore. I am dead inside. And here's the thing. If Jimmy says tomorrow at a news conference, I'm going to remain owner of the team, but I just gave our team this message, I'm not going to step foot in Berea. I'm going to write checks. I'm going to hire people. I'm going to hire the best people in the business. But I'm no longer going to get in and muck things up with my uninformed opinion.
If he did that, which he's never going to do.
He's never going to do that.
If he said that, I would say, you want to fire him? Fire everybody.
Sure.
Clear out the building.
Yep. Go get the best.
Right ahead.
Get the best available.
My biggest of all the things.
But my biggest defense of Kevin is his ability to overcome the obstacles that are put in place in that building.
Kevin is not the biggest thing wrong with
I
this
would argue
organization.
that he hasn't overcome them enough.
I agree. I agree.
And
I agree.
Go ahead, G. Go get yours off.
That's funny. Get your pause. Listen, no, we just had a conversation, and I would need to bring it back to the center. We sat here and went around the table, and we said that we don't feel like Myles Garrett should be. We're giving him any sympathy because what?
He signed up for this.
Kevin
took the money.
Kevin Stefanski's contract was up. His contract was finished. It was done.
No, they extended
it
Hold
before
on.
we ever got
But
to
he
that.
could have not signed.
But that's where we're going.
Yeah, but there's a difference.
But no,
I've got no contract.
Well, here's the thing. He was under contract. If he was handcuffed to a level, and he is thought about around the league as one of the best, bright, young coaches in mind.
I won't even go that far.
Okay.
I think he's a good coach.
Okay.
He's a good coach, period.
If I got that resume, and I'm the coach of the year, and I took this team after what we did in 2023, and Jimmy Haslam, we did shows on this airwave countless times. When are they going to extend him? When are they going to extend him? What's up with the contracts? He said, I'm not worried about it. We'll get it done. We'll get it done. If he was so handcuffed, He could have simply said, you know what, Jimmy, thanks but no thanks. I appreciate the
That's
opportunity, and I would respect you because guess who did it? Kyle Shanahan did that. He said, listen, I understand it's a coordinator position, but let me tell you why I'm not coaching for you. I will take my ball and go somewhere else. And it worked out. So we can't sit here and say we feel sorry for him because he's under Jimmy Haslam when he signed a deal just like Miles Garrett signed.
I don't feel sorry.
No, I don't feel
Thinking
sorry
about-
for him
at all.
Nobody feels sorry
I don't feel
for him.
sorry for Kevin one bit.
And-
He decided to come back.
Frankly, when they fired AVP, I thought he should have quit. I think I said that on the show.
And
Yeah,
that brings
you did.
me to what I wanted to say.
did.
And I know you and I are agreement on this. My biggest beef of everything with Kevin Stefanski is his inability to say to Jimmy Haslam, enough.
Yep. I agree.
And I don't
Bull.
care that he's the owner
I
because
agree.
Kevin had the juice to do that.
yeah.
Yup.
Yes,
and
he did.
and the worst Jimmy could have done was fire him. He still would have gotten paid. He should have said enough. He should not have allowed Alex Van Pelt to be fired. He's been pushed around with the coaches that have been forced on him.
I agree with you.
And he has allowed it to happen. The only time the Cowboys have had any success since Jerry Jones owned the team was when Jimmy Johnson ran the team and said, Jerry, you're out.
You know what's funny?
And they've not won anything since then.
You know what's funny is
He's a poor man's Jerry Jones.
it's exactly what Ty did when Ty got fired. When Ty got fired from the Cavs, he was playing his veterans. They wanted him to play Colin Sexton at all costs and get some of these young guys ready. And Ty's like, I'm going to play my guys, and if you don't like it, you can fire me.
That's it. Good.
So what did they do?
Fired
They
him.
fired him.
So what?
Yeah,
Cool.
and look at him
Yeah.
now. Because the thing, what's funny about Ty, now I'm talking about Ty. Remember his last year here, the year you were talking about? I would come on your show, and everybody wanted to fire Ty. Remember that?
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to fire
Yeah.
Ty Lue. He's an idiot. He's a bad coach. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to use
Did
LeBron.
I want to fire him? I don't think I wanted to fire him.
Oh, yeah, everybody did. Everybody in town. And I would come on and say, guys, Ty's not the problem. Ty's the one holding it together.
Yeah.
And people got so mad at me I'm not going to tell you Kevin's the one holding this together because there ain't nothing holding this together.
No, it's not together.
But I don't think Kevin is the problem. I don't think he's the
I
biggest
agree
problem.
with you. I don't think he's the
and
biggest
that's why
problem.
and that's why it comes off that I'm defending him all the time. I said if you want to fire him, fire him. But I don't think he's the biggest issue with what's wrong with this team. And much like Ty, Ty was the one holding that together. They go back to the finals. LeBron leaves. He wants to play his guys. They do fire him the next year. Now he's Team USA coach. He's head coach for the Clippers. Was Ty the problem? Of course Ty wasn't the problem.
No.
There was much greater issues going on within the Cavs, but the easiest one to point the finger at is always the head coach, and I think it's happening
But
again.
we are also pointing to the entire organization. Nobody's saying Jimmy Haslam's not the biggest part
Jimmy
of the problem.
is the
We
big.
can't fight Jimmy. We can't fire Jimmy.
Which is-
Yeah.
So I've been saying that
Yeah.
for years. I famously talk about all my buddies at ESPN saying, dude, leave now. Save yourself the next 10 years, 20 years, whatever.
Oh, stop. It's in your blood. You can't stop it.
It's in my blood, but
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I am telling you with everything I have, something has to change for me. I'm 60 years old. I for an exercise, I did this yesterday because I was talking to my teammates yesterday. I go, we don't have to be in a top 32. We don't have to. We've never been in the top 16 of the AFC. I have on this piece of paper the list of the AFC winners since in the modern era of football. Ravens 2, Indy 2, Titans 1, Chargers 1, Colts 1, Miami 5, Pittsburgh 8, Raiders 4, Denver 8, Cincinnati 2, Patriots 11, Kansas
Cincinnati
City
3.
5.
Bengals are 3. They've
Three
been to
Super
Super Bowl
Bowls?
3 times, yeah.
I missed one then. Kansas City 5, Buffalo 4. I mentioned all that.
Yeah.
There's a couple of teams missing in there. Jacksonville and the Browns. In the modern era, let's just say the Super Bowl era, there have been 120 representatives after this year in the Super Bowl. Not one time have we been able to climb to the top of a 16-team mountain. Not once.
In theory, based on football, every team should have been there 4 times.
This should be our 4th.
Yeah.
Because, every 16 years,
Yeah.
it rotates out. Guys, we can't do it once. And a lot of, obviously, we had different regimes. We had different ownerships, 4 different ownership groups during that time. When I look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, their ownership group, the Rooneys, okay, they've been in 8. The Patriots, 11. Now, not all of the Patriots were in the Kraft era, but most of them were.
Yeah.
Kansas City, the Hunt family, 5. This is football royalty. You get there with great ownership. This ownership group is the worst ownership group of any team that I have ever been a fan of. And you can make a strong argument that they are the worst ownership group in the history of football. They've won nothing. Yet they walk around at practice with their hands in their pockets, evaluating talent and whispering sweet nothings in the ear of our general manager and head coach. I don't need it anymore. I want J-Dub out the building.
Oh, God.
There was somebody that asked me this at ESPN. Yeah. Do you think that how many teams would be lining up if the Browns told him he was fired?
Bro,
come on!
But this is the frustrating.
He married into it. I can't have a guy making huge decisions in my organization that married into it.
But this is the frustrating.
He's got to go. Haslam's got to go. Or I can't do it.
The frustrating part about it is it's like I don't understand. Like, people fight so hard when you can try things. You know why the Pittsburgh Steelers? I give Pittsburgh credit. You know what? They say, you know what? We got a dude named Cordell Stewart. We got Slash. Let's go ahead and see what happens with it. We got to do named Tom Brady. He was a 6th-round pick. Let's roll the dice on him, see if he got something to do. Right? Let's figure out, like, these organizations. They had Alex Smith, right? They said, let me get this Texas Tech quarterback. His name is Patrick Mahomes. He's a little gunslinger. Nobody's high on him. We'll take him. The problem here in Cleveland is every 4 years we cycle the same nonsense. You tell me the difference between Dillon Gabriel and Colt McCoy and Brian Hoyer. It ain't one. You tell me the difference between Jake Delhomme and Josh McCown and Joe Flacco. It isn't.
Derek Anderson.
And Derek Anderson. There isn't one. We are playing the same games with the different people, but different narratives. Charlie Fry doing all this other stuff and getting traded real quick. We got Jason Campbell and Seneca Wallace. That's the new DTR. They've been running the same stuff. And you sit here and tell me, I don't think it's going to matter, and you got a dude sitting on your bench that's posted up, sitting there, right? But instead of saying, hey, see what he can do, we'd rather be defeaters and say we'd rather lose with the people we know ain't no good. That's the problem with the Cleveland Browns fan base. It's a problem we don't expect no more. When you go to Jets, guess what? We told you Aaron Glenn was going to get fired. Where he at? You go down to LSU. Hey, Brian Kelly, get out. Other places ain't playing with you. All this, let's figure it out for 10 years. You got about 3.5 weeks to figure it out. I would love this type of energy from y'all guys that go to work. Let you have 3 bad days at work. Let's have 3. Not 6 years. 3 bad days.
By the way, while we're at it, can we fire Zach Taylor too? Can we get his ass out of Cincinnati?
Man, he must be next level awful.
Oh my God, he's so terrible.
They gave up 39 to the Jets. All I kept thinking was, God.
At least if you play, let me just tell you something. I was watching Darryl Ryder, said, finally, Darryl Ryder, you done saw the lights. At least I will be entertained. At least give your fan base entertainment to watch somebody attempt to throw the football downfield instead of telling us he's not ready. No, you're not ready. This is crazy work. Put the dude in. Let's figure something out, and at least we can watch. And Jay won't have to sit there looking at the paint dry in his house at a baseball game with Dillon Gabriel throwing safeties to nobody and pointing at the ground. What is that?
I can't watch
that.
I can't watch it.
I'd rather go watch. I'll go to Avon. Let me watch. I'd rather watch AJ. I want to watch AJ get sacks and dance. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see none of them people.
You know, you go to a puppet show and everybody looks at the puppets, but there's the puppet master up here and he's handling the wood and he's doing all that stuff.
Handling the wood.
That's Jimmy Haslam.
Jay, I'm feeling sad for you that you're going to puppet shows.
That's Jimmy. Yeah. And the puppets, you can change out, you can cut the strings, and you can put new puppets down there.
Yeah.
Well, here's what Jimmy Haslam is P.T. Barnum. You know, suckers born every 15 minutes. We're the suckers, guys. We are the suckers. We show up every Sunday with our hearts open, and we think that today's going to be different.
No.
Or this year's going to be different. I just read on my phone that the Baltimore Ravens at 2-5 are the betting favorites to win the division.
They are.
Well,
nasty
and they should be.
Steelers are 4-3.
They should be. After I watched the Steelers last night, I think they should be. But here's the wild thing about this.
Nasty work.
Jimmy has created drama and fires all over, and he's hoping that the fans think that the fire is the enemy.
I
The
guarantee,
arsonist is the enemy, and he is burning it down.
Jay, I guarantee you half the fan base still thinks he's the best owner in Cleveland.
Bull, that's
he
why
spends money.
I was going to get to that point
insane.
when we did our favorite the best owner in Cleveland sports. Jimmy Haslam got 50% of the votes. We're the suckers.
Well,
We keep coming back. What he does is owns the most favorite and popular team in the city.
That's right.
And that's why I said it was the most egregious take that I've ever heard in my life, that half of the Cleveland Browns feel that he's a better owner than Paul Dolan, who spends no money but wins.
we'll make it a poll. We'll read your throats. At the
Oh,
end of the show,
God,
but
and
we have,
he'll still get
record numbers
50%.
watching, so we should get a good return on this poll. We're gonna do a little rookie report, guys. Talk about Carson Schwarzenegger's injury after a quick word from
that
FanDuel.
hurts.
The NBA season's here. NFL is midway through, and FanDuel has you covered for any sport you want. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right, pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to download the FanDuel app and get started today. We will talk some Cavs in about 10 minutes, but first we got to get to our weekly rookie report. We'll start with Carson Schwarzenegger, guys, who got hurt in the loss. He's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks, but was playing well, got his first career interception before the injury. Bo, what'd you make of Carson Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, I thought he was playing
yesterday?
fine. He was a B until the injury, and obviously he's been their best young player on defense, and now he's going to miss most of the rest of the season. It's unfortunate.
It's great interception.
Yeah, great play.
Athletic play.
Yeah.
It's fun watching him play. It's bummer that he's out. I think Judkin's going to be okay. I don't think that's anything long term, but the Schwarzenegger thing, they're going to miss him on defense, and we'll see who can step in.
And this was why I be talking about these drafts. It's like, cool, yeah, you got a draft, and Schwarzenegger is one of them dudes. I like him. I think he super athletic. I think he's going to be one of them dudes that's going to be leading the league in tackles every single year. He fits right at home. I love his game, but the thing is, you ain't got nobody behind him. You ain't got nobody. You got to pair that with something. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't just have one good draft and be like, oh, we good, because injuries happen. Like, these guys, what happened to JOK got me thinking different about a lot of stuff. It's like, yeah, you can sit here and say, oh, you one play away from losing one of your best players forever. So your job as GM is not to get 3 out of 20 right. You better get 10, 12, 13 right and have them stacked up. So now we're going to get an opportunity to see who behind him, but this going to hurt a lot. He calls all the plays in the huddle. He's one of your most athletic guys. He's on the field 3 downs right, and he was a strength of your team. Now you're gonna have to lean a lot more on Devin Bush. You're gonna have to lean more on Baker. You're gonna have to Diabate gonna be in the game more. So this is a tough blow.
Yeah, this one really hurts, man. He was in the conversation for Defensive Rookie of the Year, especially at this position with JOK being gone.
It sucks.
God, man, I saw a funny meme yesterday. You might have seen it. It was the Giants fans, and it had some dude standing there and just some guy standing across him and just kicking him between the legs 18 times.
Yeah.
And the meme was what it's like to be a Giants fan. And then it showed some other guy standing there and log swinging and hitting him right in the groin. Yeah. And I'm like, that's us too. I mean, and I laughed that they said that's the Giants. You guys have Super Bowl trophies. That might be you the last decade. This has been us the last 40 years. We can't have nice things.
No, ever. Like it's ever.
I say 40 years just because in the 60s when the NFL was a much different league, this franchise, that's what makes it worse for the old timers. This franchise was the bar. They were winning championships.
Well, even the 80s, they were good.
They were good, but they never made a Super Bowl.
Right,
we
but
were good.
It wasn't a joke
You know
franchise.
what? At this point in my life, just give me 3 enjoyable hours on Sunday. Like, that's it. And I can't even get that.
At least be fun. Quinshawn Judkins had been fun. Yesterday we talked about going into the game The Patriots had not given up 50 yards to a running back this season.
Yeah.
Quinshon obviously got hurt in the third quarter, but 9 carries for just 19 yards, was hit behind the line of scrimmage on 7 of those 9 carries, which makes it tough to evaluate. But any other takeaways on Quinshon? I mean, he
what does that say?
did
You
kind of
just
nothing.
gave the
but
takeaways.
had-
I hate our run game setup. I hate how they block. I hate how people just be letting people come in the backfield all free. I hate how many people are standing up, looking around, not blocking nobody.
How many times is that linebacker? I forgot his name now. They're
Spillane, 14.
How many times is he unblocked?
Right
too
right in the face.
I mean,
right in the face.
Offensive line,
and
F minus.
I don't know the. I don't know.
I
the-
thought the pass blocking was fine in this game.
I don't know
the
the-
run blocking was terrible.
I don't know the blocking assignments, but I'm watching Cam Robinson go to the second level and hit a linebacker while Spillane runs right by
Right
him.
through
I'm like, what? And again, I don't know what his assignment was, but something is off.
There's a free guy coming through all the time. And it's evident in every single game. It's just, it is, I don't know how they're blocking it. I just don't know. There's multiple people coming free. And there's an illusion just because the running back has some nice carries. No, he's making guys miss in the backfield. And
he couldn't yesterday.
And yesterday, they made a point to be like, nah, you're not getting that off.
All right, Harold Fannin did score a touchdown. He came out of the backfield on that first touchdown. Stefanski lined him up as a fullback, snuck in a flood concept, got into the end zone. He continues to be the Browns' leading receiver, which not a high bar, but he is
Has a
their
rookie
de facto
tight
leading
end
receiver.
ever led a
So,
team in receiving yards?
Yes.
yes,
Bowers.
definitely happened. Yeah,
Bowers
Bowers
last
did
year.
Last year.
I think that was the first time it ever happened.
Did Ozzie do it?
Probably did.
Well, I will look that up, but what'd you make of how Harold Fannin played yesterday?
He played a good game. I mean, he was one of the, maybe the only bright spot on the offense. He played
That's
a
it.
good game.
Yeah.
He's as good as we thought he was.
I'm ready to see him just get all David Njoku's minutes. I don't know how many there are to be had, but at this point, give me something else. Njoku is looking rough. Shout out to him. He did come out and play, but he wasn't moving all that well. He had the knee brace on too. So me and Tyvis was watching the film against the Pittsburgh Steelers. He said, you know what, G. Bush? They actually running 3 tight ends not because Kevin want to, it's because they just don't got a receiver. I said, ain't that a so-and-so?
Bull, by the way, a rookie tight end has led his team in receiving yards 3 times, including 2 times in the last 5 years. Kyle Pitts also led Atlanta in receiving yards.
So it's only happened 3 times ever. Yeah,
It's going to be 4.
in Ozzie Newsome's rookie year, he had 589 yards, which was second on the team behind Reggie Rucker.
There you go.
And last but not least, last
893.
rookie before we pivot to the Cavs, we mentioned Mason Graham. Bull, I know you said you didn't see much from him. Obviously, a defensive tackle, harder to evaluate.
Yeah, I know. That's
mid-game,
not fair.
but he didn't really make any impact plays.
No.
But, gee, what you played the position. What did you make of what Mason did yesterday?
That's a defensive tackle game. This is you're seeing why I was like, you took a defensive tackle at 5, and when you don't, he can be perfectly fine being in his gap, but unless you are, again, as I repeat, unless you are Aaron Donald or Warren Sapp, Cortez Kennedy, John Randall, you can't take a defensive tackle.
You got to be.
They gotta be. There's not the level of impact. He has 17 tackles. He's played.
Did
Can I ask
those
you
guys
this?
have that impact in rookie years? I can't remember any.
Sapp was good as a rookie.
Sapp
I
was
remember
good.
Sapp was. Let me ask you this: does he have anything to do with Miles getting home 5 times yesterday?
No,
None.
0
Well, that's interesting.
at all. Miles Garrett got triple teamed and he was still getting home. Go watch the first 3 sacks. The first 3 sacks, he got chipped by a tight end. He Euro stepped and ran around and made a secondary move around the tackle, and he gets hit by 3 people.
By the way, Warren Sapp only had 3 sacks his rookie year. Year 2, he had
Sack,
9.
Yeah, he wasn't a big sack guy
What
right
Aaron
away.
Donald do?
He played the traditional defensive tackle.
He played the 3
He
tech.
was a run stop.
Yeah.
But I think they realized, my God, this guy, his
could do both.
athleticism.
As
Warren
a-
Sapp was a ridiculous athlete.
As a rookie, he had 3 sacks and 27 tackles.
Who was that? Warren Sapp?
Warren Sapp, which is, a
good line.
On par with what Mason Graham's doing.
So-
who'd you want me to look up? Aaron Donald?
Yeah.
I have some
I don't remember Donald
advanced
as a rookie.
analytics for you guys that are directly comparable. So shout out to Anthony Reinhard, who writes for StatButler.com. He does a lot of NFL deep analytics. He put together pass rush win rate for pass rushers drafted in the first round from the interior of the defensive line in their first 7 games, and compared to Mason Graham.
Work right there.
So it's actually a pretty good comparison, and it's not just first round picks.
Yeah.
There's also guys like Matabike who kind of popped off as rookies. So it just gives a comparison.
Okay.
Mason Graham has 189, and I'm going to give you 2 stats because it shows how tracking is different on different sites. This is PFF first, then I'll give you the ESPN, and 2 very different answers. But of the 9 elite defensive tackles in terms of what they came into the league projected to do, and Matabike and Kobe Turner, who were later round picks, Mason Graham ranks 8th out of 9 in PFF's pass rush win rate. For comparison, Jalen Carter in his first 7 games, who was the number 9 overall pick, had a 22.2% pass rush win rate his first 7 games as a rookie. Brian Murphy, who was the Seattle Seahawks first-round pick, he was the number 16 overall pick, had a 16.4% win rate. A guy like Dexter Lawrence, 19th pick for the Giants a couple of years back, in his first 7 games had an 8.0 pass rush win rate. Mason Graham this year, 189 pass rushes, a 6.8 pass rush win rate. So
Mike, this is how many years? Is Aaron Donald on there?
No, it's just the last couple of years.
Oh, it's just the last couple of years. By the way, Aaron Donald had 9 sacks his rookie year.
And then, for comparison, I mentioned that ESPN also has their own pass rush win rate metrics. Mason Graham has a 13% pass rush win rate, which ranks much higher than it does on PFF, which just goes to show each tracking has its own
Where does he rank
data.
out of?
This has a bigger sample size. It says 20, which is all first-round picks, and he's 10th out of 20. So middle of the pack in the 20.
All right, he's not standing out, but it's a position where, again, by next year, if we don't see it like him being impactful by some point next year, we're going to know it was a mistake. But it's too early to write him off. Yeah. He's been okay.
My critique is more about the position of need,
right? Yeah,
rather than the player.
Yeah, when you look at what did we really need more? A defensive tackle or a wide receiver?
Left tackle.
By the way, in the 5 picks after Graham, you had Mahmoud, who's the starting tackle for the Jets, who's played pretty well. Kelvin Banks, the starting left tackle for the Saints, who's played pretty well. And Tet McMillan, the starting receiver, who's the number 1 option in Carolina right now, who have all played pretty well. Just wanted to mention that. And it's no knock on Mason Graham, just position need.
Position
Guys
need.
We have perhaps the greatest pass rusher ever. We have perhaps the worst wide receiving core I've ever seen. Let's add to
they had 2 catches yesterday, by the way. The whole receiver core.
That makes me want to vomit
Jamari Thrash
all over this table.
I mean, how many times have I said they had the 2nd pick, they traded down, they took defensive players with their top 2 picks?
Stupid.
So they knew what the offense looked like last year. They knew how bad it was.
Why did they
traded down and took defensive players?
How many receiving yards did Browns receivers have yesterday? Receiving yards total.
Jamari Thrash had 2 for what? 2 for. I'm pulling up the box score right now. Jamari Thrash had 2 catches for 31 yards, which accounted for all of the Browns receivers' catches and yards in the game.
And then what's a fireable offense? It was a fireable offense.
Our receiving core yesterday.
I'll read you every receiver stat line for the Browns yesterday. Are you ready?
31 yards.
Jamari Thrash, 2 catches, 31 yards. Jerry Jeudy, 2 targets, 0 receptions, 0 yards. Isaiah Bond, 4 targets, 0 receptions, 0 yards. Malachi Corley, 1 rush, 31 yards. And that's a rush, not a
And how many?
That was their best play of the game.
How many? So he had 19 receptions.
6 to Fannin, 4 to Njoku, 5 to Sampson, 3 to Judkins, 1 to 4.
Oh my God.
The Browns receivers had 2 catches yesterday.
It's the worst wide receiving core I've ever watched.
And Chad O'Shea is sitting there telling me, I ran it the other day on the barbershop, well, we really like our receiving room. They're doing everything that we're asking them to do, and you know,
catch passes.
And I'm really excited with more opportunities that they're going to put up numbers.
How does he
I said, listen, this is a fireable offense. The fact that you even getting up here talking about this stuff with these receivers, it's also a fireable offense. The fact that every single year, and this is not, hey, everybody, if you're new to the show, This isn't just the G. Bush act today. How long has G. Bush been running this receiver spiel? 3 whole years, every single year, starting with Donovan Peoples-Jones and his body of work. Who's not in the league? Hey, let's Cedric
Anthony
Schwartz, Cedric Tillman
David
and his
Bell.
body, and
Gone.
These dudes is Jags.
Yeah, it's
Just guys.
It's tough, G. All right, guys, we got 5 minutes to talk a little Cavs before we get to Super Chats. Our Cavs Talk today brought to you by GameTime. There's no better place to get your Cavs tickets than with the GameTime app. The app gives the advantage back to the fans. It's fast, easy, and backed by the GameTime guarantee, where you always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best prices, plus all fees are included, so the price you see is the price you pay. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, and go. Download GameTime today. Also, Steve sent out a newsletter this morning. You can text the number you see on the screen right there if you want to sign up for today's newsletter. All right, guys, the Cavs had their home opener last night.
NFL team ever.
What are you saying?
I think the 2 catches for 31 yards has to be the lowest ever recorded by a wide receiving core in NFL history.
By the way, Drake May and Malachi Corley both had more rushing yards than all Browns receivers had receiving yards.
Yes.
All right, sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
All right, let's talk just real quick on the Cavs. They beat the Bucks in the home
This is a big win.
And it was ugly down the stretch. And give kudos to the Bucks for playing a little 2-3 zone. They got the Cavs out of their offensive rhythm. But down the stretch, Donovan and Evan made some big-time shots, and Evan made some big-time free throws to be able to secure the win. It's worth noting it was DeAndre Hunter's first game back, and in their first opportunity to close out a game, they went with Mobley at the 5, Hunter at the 4, Lonzo at the 3, Merrill and Mitchell in the backcourt. So,
by the way, Lonzo, 21, Mike.
Looked great yesterday. By far his best game in a Cavs uniform thus far.
21 is not the points. We had this.
Yeah.
Points, rebounds, assists combined.
But my cousin, he came in. He lives in Wisconsin. He had a long talk about Jimmy Haslam owning the Bucks and what they doing Giannis. So
he's screwing that franchise up too.
So we talking basketball late last night. He like, G. Bush. They keep asking me about Haslam. I said, this is crazy. But let's get this.
Is J-Dub involved with the Bucks?
He probably is. He gonna own that too.
He'll have majority control of that team in a few years.
That's wild work.
Good luck, Milwaukee.
So we watching the game. My cousin like, hey man, somebody needs to tell Lonzo to stop being so shifty. Like Lonzo is out here trying to act like he's real Lonzo back with the Lakers. Like he's just doing the most shifty. He's just moving his body up top. Like he's just like, yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm like, oh, Lonzo Ball. He must have got he must have got him some supplements for his kneecaps, bro, because this dude is out here playing like he kind of young right now. But shout out to Evan Mobley because we was gonna get on you, Evan. We was gonna get on you. That performance you had the other night, where you had what, 12, 13 shots? It seemed like 13. That was nasty work. That should never happen again. Like he better get his mind together.
Well, he didn't technically take many more field goals last night. He
had 13 last night.
He didn't shoot well,
Technically, he didn't take, but he was 12 of 12 from the free throw line.
Yeah. Jared Allen's played much better the last 2 games.
Yep.
So
okay.
we're gonna kill him when he plays like that.
Sam Merrill.
That's what I want to talk about real quick.
Yeah.
Sam Merrill.
You guys know I've been pushing the Sam Merrill agenda for a while, right?
That's a
Steve,
flaw, Mike.
take
that's
480,
your
please.
D3 nonsense destroying you.
Take 480. Bull, I would like you to see this graphic. And when Steve has 480 ready, you can pop this up full screen here, Steve. But these are the most three-point makes in the league right now. You may recognize the first name on the list.
I don't care.
Steph Curry, who has 16 made threes. Look at number 2 right now, Bull.
Mike, he's an RSJ. Figure out what that
15.
means.
RSJ.
He's a regular season Jimmy. Let's go.
He is going to be.
Hold on, you can't say RSJ and expect me to know what that means. When
Why
it's
would you
it's
know?
Adam the Bull made up terminology that no one's
It's
ever
the
heard.
first time
of
I've
in
ever heard
history
it.
of
I
the
was like,
world.
man, is that the
I know, I
RSV?
made it up.
I was like, man,
I
they had a
expect
new
you to get inside my brain,
It's just
Mike.
like G. Bush's Jag. Just another guy.
Well, that's not G. Bush's.
No,
Everybody
but he
knows
likes to
Jag.
use it.
But I will tell you like this.
Do you think RSJ is going to catch on?
No.
No.
I think it
Never.
should. I
It
kind of
should.
like it.
He's a
Because we've
regular
got a
season
couple
Jimmy.
of those.
Yeah.
Sam Merrill is going to win the 3-point shootout.
Ooh.
He will win the 3-point shootout.
Bold talk.
Sam Merrill will also be at the All-Star game
No. What do you
as part of the 3-man roster with Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell in the pass, punt, kick, skill, bounce basketball thing.
Oh, there's such a thing.
Kick Darius out of that?
Listen,
Skills competition?
No,
By the way, aren't they playing USA versus Europe?
Yes, they are.
Europe's going to kill them.
They might.
The 5 best players in the league are all not American, right?
No, Ant's in there.
Yeah, right.
He's not one of the 5 best players.
Yeah.
He's close.
I'll take him in top 5.
He's close.
I'll take him
Oh,
in
Mike,
top 5.
you got Jokic,
The top
SGA.
4 are locked in and they're all international, but I think number 5.
Go ahead, wait. You got Jokic, SGA, who's
Luka.
Canadian.
Luka
Shea. Oh, you said SG.
Yeah.
and,
Luka
and Giannis are the top
and Giannis.
4.
Who's
And if Embiid play for him, if Embiid plays for him,
Embiid sucks. You could, but Wemby or Ant Edwards are 5 and 6 in my mind.
who would take Anthony Edwards over Embiid? I mean, over Wemby.
Right now, today.
listen, yeah.
SG or Ant's pretty good.
Now, the
International.
International doesn't have the bench, right? They don't have a great bench.
International.
We definitely have the depth.
Yeah.
We've got the numbers, but at the top, they're loaded.
we are hurt right now. Halliburton,
Here it is.
Tatum,
Here it is, though.
LeBron.
October, and we're talking about it. That's a good thing.
I like that. They got to
Because
bring the
when was
flags
the last
up.
time we talked about the NBA All-Star
And
game?
you know the
in October?
non-Americans are going to play hard, which is going to force the
Oh, of
Americans
course.
to play
Oh,
hard.
of
Yes,
course.
whether they want to or not.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the big questions I get all the time in the NBA is who's the next American who's going to win MVP?
And that's a fair question.
And I mean, the answer is Ant, I guess, if he ever
Yeah.
wins one. But there's a lot of guys in front
There's
of
a
him.
lot of guys in front of them.
And
By the way, yet another reason why clearly Michael Jordan's the better player than LeBron career-wise is that Michael Jordan made the All-Star game better. LeBron James destroyed the All-Star game. Let's face it.
Well, he didn't do it single-handedly.
Oh, yes, he did. He's
no,
the
he
leader.
didn't. No.
He's the leader of the troop.
Michael Jordan rode the coattails of Magic and Bird.
Nah,
Let's stop
he
that.
didn't.
What
That's
you
not
talking
true.
about? What you
Yeah,
talking
And
about?
nobody's a bigger fan of Magic and Bird than me.
But here's the thing: you act like
Yeah.
The finals were on tape delayed before they came in.
I know.
Like, I'm not
that's
saying
been blown out of proportion.
Not
I want
like
some-
Jordan was good. Don't make
Yeah.
me sound like he's a hater. No one culturally will bring him up. But we were talking about Sam
Yeah.
Merrill. By the way, Sam
Sam
Merrill, he's going to be in the top 5 in percentage. By the way,
52 this year.
I did buy the Sam Merrill
crazy.
stock when we did win the NBA Summer League championship.
You trusted him in the playoffs right now. Playoffs starting today. You trust him?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Kenny said he's been their best player through 3 games. It's hard
Kenny's
to argue
wrong.
with that.
It's three games.
know what
And
he's
he
talking
pulls
about.
up.
Start the season.
And he
Well, I'd
pulls
say
up.
that's what he said. He's not wrong.
And he pulls up in transition 3. Like he got the super grip.
the head coach doesn't know what he's talking about. Adam the Bull, the NBA expert, clearly knows more.
Clearly
knows more.
I knew more
You
than-
ask Kenny,
I knew
does
more
he
than
know
David
what
Blatt. Come on.
RSJ stands for? He is in the dark on that.
Yes.
I'll ask Kenny this week.
I like Kenny. I'm
RSJ.
joking around.
I got so many Blatt stories. Oh my God in heaven.
Save those for overtime. Let's get to some super chats, though. We have a record number. We're going to do 15 minutes worth, and then we'll see you in overtime. First one's from Brad Schrack. I'm tired of talking quarterbacks, whether it's DG or Shador, until there's competent O-line play and receivers that are good to average. We're wasting our time, and it's even worse if Quinshon's hurt, and I'm sick of Stefanski's play calling.
All right.
Brad's fed up. DK says, remember those training camp stats? Look like they were accurate, just like Shador. Highest completion percentage with the worst offensive line. He was bred for this situation. Jay and Bull have been wrong since camp.
I wasn't paying attention on who.
Why did I get lumped in with Jay there?
On who? Well, I don't even know
He
who
said
we're talking
it was a
about.
separation.
Who were
of
we
church and
talking
state.
about?
Shador.
Sir Charles
Apparently
T.
his preseason stats are meaningful. Go ahead.
Sir Charles T. says
We're going
Vrabel
to
called
find
out
out.
Stefanski for being a bad OC. He's not the first. D'Amico also called him out in the playoff game. Players have also, the pros have been telling you.
Next.
Akron Hot Saucer says Miles is right to be upset. Yes, he signed the contract, but I'm sure he didn't think the entire offense would check out. It's disgusting.
He knew they were going to be
He
crappy.
knew what it was.
Let's be fair about that. He knew they were going to be terrible.
Next one comes from K-Rob, who says, let Andrew Berry choose his coach. Stefanski was hired first.
Andrew Berry should not be selecting anything ever
No,
again.
they both got to go.
Next comes from Lord of the Drip. Beep, beep, boop, supercomputer, Windows 95, uninstalling, insert America online disk now.
To flip the floppy disks over.
Those are the good old days.
Is somebody on the phone? Mom, are you on the phone? I'm trying to get on the internet.
That's right. You used the phone line. I forgot about that.
Yes, and if someone picked up the phone,
Yeah.
your connection to the
Done.
internet was gone.
That was it. No more chatting in chat groups.
Sir Charles T. says, Cleveland media, stop hurting your credit to cover for Stefanski. He's given you nothing in 6 years.
Nobody's doing that.
M. Bynes 4187 says, it was all a scam. This is the say we are trying to win when we are not scammed. Jimmy said, make it look like you are, and you are safe, Kevin.
This is Matrix now.
Yeah.
This is getting to a point where, like, is Zion really in the Matrix? I think it is.
Yeah.
All my Matrix people, let me know.
JB Smooth 92 says, not going to drag Gabriel. This is about the Browns' repeated failure to evaluate players. Bull is right. They have zero credibility in talent evaluation.
Damn right I'm right.
S-Lock 330. I like this one. The safety to a successful onside kick is an advanced analytics play.
Hey, I didn't know you could do that. I thought you had to punt the ball. Like the free kick, I thought you had to if you got a safety.
Yeah.
Little did we know you can go onside with that. That's kind of wild.
Yeah.
You know what was crazy is normally when you recover an onside kick, it's meaningful, and you're like, oh my God, we got a chance. With this,
That was the first time they've recovered. That was their second best highlight, that great onside kick by Andre Schmidt.
Was it?
It was.
Even though he missed his field goal. And that was the first onside kick they've recovered in 9 years.
Wow.
It meant nothing.
The league collectively is like
Yeah.
2-26 this year.
Yeah, it's not high. Trizzy in the money says
got
it's
Epler
time
now.
to play Shador. We've heard and seen enough. I made an alarming amount of money fading DG yesterday on my parlay. There is no answer but seeing another quarterback. By the way, Stefanski sounded non-committal to me.
By the way, we got to stop. He is unworthy of a nickname. You cannot call him DJ.
I can't believe
Stop
y'all
it.
stripped Darius Garland
That
of
is
his
just
nickname.
terrible, man.
And this dude is an all-star. You just gave it away.
That is
The
embarrassing.
next 5 super chats all refer to him as DG, just a heads up. Dragon the Abandoner said, I didn't think I would get to this point, but G. Bush is vindicated. If Flutter and Die Deep Ball DG was really Kevin's choice, he's got to go.
And Dragon the Abandoner is he's
He's been a Stefanski supporter.
That's his man's.
Original Video says Kevin never said in the press conference he was sticking with DG. He said he was going to look at everything, including QB. He was non-committal, except when he asked, are you going to stick with Dillon Gabriel?
And he said,
yep.
yup.
Yes, I am. So he was very committal.
He could change his mind.
He could change his mind, but yesterday he was committal.
Or someone
Quadia
could
Rich
change it
says,
for him.
Jay did Stefanski. I'm just going to skip all the, he did not say, he did say that. Go back and listen 92 seconds. James Mace said, I'm convinced they play Browns games at Guantanamo Bay to get information from terrorists.
That's funny.
That's
That's
true. You
crazy.
stole that from my podcast yesterday, by the way.
I did watch your podcast, by the
Yeah.
way. And you did.
I didn't specifically say Guantanamo Bay,
that was
but I
funny.
talked about torturing people by
that
making
was
them watch
crazy.
the Browns games. Yeah.
HTX Nate said, just make sure you give 12 the same grace and excuses you give Dollar General DG when he gets a shot.
Who
at
has
quarterback.
given him grace and excuses?
Nobody.
Who?
Nobody.
Oh,
I don't think we've said a good
Stinks.
word about
He's
what
Hey,
terrible.
That's done. That ain't.
2 receptions.
The closest
for
I've
31
come to
yards.
giving him grace is he was never supposed to be out there at this point.
Yeah,
That's it.
I mean, and the same thing with
That's
Shador.
it.
That's how these young quarterbacks. I watched the Packers last night. They talked about the relationship between Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, and I just thought, God, you would think that would really catch on. That teams would say, they've had 3 quarterbacks for the most part in the last 35 years. The succession plan works, but you've got to have a good one in there to begin with.
Yeah, but there's not a
You
lot-
can't even get to that point.
Yeah, but there's plenty of other quarterbacks that have started right away and been successful
I'll be
too.
trying.
3 years.
I'll be trying to tell y'all this is how it works with the veil. So like this super chat is not in first person. So when they say a super chat, they're talking to the internet stratosphere. They're not talking specifically
So send
to
it to
you.
the internet stratosphere.
But no, this
Yeah.
is the biggest platform, so they are saying it to the internet stratosphere.
Okay.
It's like everybody. It's like
They
a
had,
huge
a
megaphone.
they had a cool stat last night on Monday Night Football. I didn't realize
Is it
this.
the 97%?
Bart Starr won his first Super Bowl at age 27.
Oh, yeah.
Brett Favre, 27. Aaron Rodgers, 27.
His only Super Bowl.
Jordan Love is 27.
Is
They
not gonna
also
win the Super Bowl.
said that since 1992,
That's really cool.
Rodgers, Love, and Favre have started 97.5% of the games for the Packers. Yeah. 3 guys have started 97%.
So
of the
if you think about it, the Packers and the
Smallest
Steelers,
market in pro
the
sports.
Packers and the Steelers that had 3 coaches and 3 quarterbacks for the last 6
the
decades.
Steelers have had more than that.
Since
but
92.
I mean,
Since
coaches?
Favre was drafted.
no, not a quarterback.
Yeah, I'd say the coaches and the
Well,
quarterbacks.
Favre was drafted in Atlanta.
Or since Favre
They
got
traded.
whatever it was,
Yeah.
since Favre started
That's
in.
guys.
yeah.
That's astounding.
It's crazy.
97% of their
Yeah.
games in 30
plus years. by three
33
guys.
years.
So can I?
Damn.
I know we ain't supposed to ask no questions for this time period, but I just do want to say it. If, say, for instance, just play a little game. Say Shedeur Sanders does come out and play well, and he plays really well. What do you think people will say about Stefanski?
Oh,
Will
I'm
it
sure
change?
people will say that he's doing it in spite of the head coach.
Will you? Will you?
I will. I'll say
Will
that.
somebody say that? Will anyone give Stefanski credit?
No.
No, I don't think he gets any. He was terrible with Flacco. They've been terrible with Dillon Gabriel. Listen, this is why you hold out hope for stuff like this. If Shedeur Sanders looks anything other than what we've seen so far, that is a testament to him. But anybody who's expecting to change him out, put him in, and we get Joe Flacco 2023, you're kidding yourself. This is 2 receivers or 2 catches for 31 yards from the wide receivers. He's not getting any new wide receivers to throw to, and it's not fair to him, and it's not fair to Dillon Gabriel, and maybe we're going to put 2 more young quarterbacks on the scrap heap.
I will
but
say
that's what
this.
we do here.
Listen, I will say it. It's kind of, if he does that, I mean, it's tough to look at it and squint and be like, man, he about to just have 300 tomorrow. I mean,
No, if he does that, we put our foot in it. We got it right despite of our dysfunction, and all of our ills are fixed.
Let's get to some more super chats here.
That is a big bridge.
D
too far
Bowman
for me.
5 says Jason's supercomputer is looking like a J5 from Blankman.
Your supercomputer.
I have never once, because I knew as soon as that supercomputer thing came out, I knew it was just going to blow up on it.
Who called him that?
I don't know where it started, but
I think Mary Kay.
there are things like that happen early on, and you're like, oh yeah, that's going to haunt him forever. That was one of them. I have never once called him a supercomputer.
When them articles came out,
Mary Kay can hype with the
man,
best of them.
boy, that
can hype.
That boy,
And
I said,
by the way, I've never said I thought Dillon was a franchise quarterback.
Actually, Jason said the only one who has a chance to be a franchise quarterback
Is Shedeur.
Sanders.
And one more thing, because I'm the one that keeps saying, like, he's not ready, he's not right. Like, I've said that many times.
Yeah.
People at the Browns are not calling me going, hey, make sure you get out there that he's not ready.
Yeah, right.
That's not, like, I talk to people who don't make decisions and say, how's he looking? And they're like, no, it's not there.
By the way, Justin Fields threw for 248 yards yesterday. These are the players who caught passes. Tell me how many of these guys you've heard of, honestly. Tyler Johnson, Isaiah Davis, Mason Taylor, Isaiah Williams, Jeremy Ruckert, Arian Smith, Breece Hall, Andrew Beck, and Alan Lazard.
Lazard and Breece Hall.
Except for Lazard, those are all electricians in ELW.
Yeah, and Breece Hall and Alan Lazard only had 19 yards between them
Tyler
of the
Johnson used to be on the
248
Bucs.
receiving yards.
A couple of those guys have been around.
Yeah.
Miss Bell says, what coach, NFL or college, has said that Shedeur is a 5th-round talent, not who didn't pick him, not what Stefanski said, whose list was DG on to go 3rd round?
I will say that 3rd round was that was kind of high.
Floyd made Connorith said, hey, Jason, I was more excited to see you at the Anthony Rodea show Sunday than Rodea. I saw you at the meet and greet afterwards. Did you enjoy the show?
That's the guy. I couldn't think of his
Anthony
name.
Rodea.
Anthony Rodea.
There it is. I never heard
It's my wife loves him. It was her birthday
Was it
yesterday. Comedian at Hilarities.
Oh.
Should have come and said hello. Unless there was someone with the wait
He went
staff
for
who
the
came
meet
over.
and greet, excuse me. Very
Unless
fancy guy.
you wanted the picture with
that's
them.
cool.
So
Was he nice?
Yeah, he was hilarious, and he went for like an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh, that's
like
good.
he went long.
Whoa, that's material.
That is a lot.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. We
That's
had
how
a good
you know
time.
they're funny, if they can hold an audience
Go for that long, yeah.
Yeah.
DK says, no, Jay, you told us Shedeur was so far behind, there was no way he was ready to play, but DG was. Shedeur practiced great with the practice squad players and still has the best quarterback performance of the year. Stop moving the goalposts.
I don't even know what that means.
Phil Bowman says,
I get it. Shedeur played yesterday, threw for 350, 8 touchdowns, and we won.
I think he's saying
you'll prove me wrong, guys. You will prove me wrong when Shedeur comes in and plays better than Dillon. And that's a low bar.
That's not a very high bar.
He better exceed that.
think he's
better,
saying-
because right now, Shedeur Sanders is, by most counts, 32.
I think he's
of
saying
32.
the Carolina preseason game is the best quarterback performance to date.
Anybody?
That's just silly.
The preseason is ridiculous.
Silly.
And whether you're great in the preseason or whether you're ass in the preseason, I don't care.
I prefer cheeks.
Cheeks, buns, whatever you got.
Phil Bowman
Buns is
says,
another
if
one.
we change the coach, what should the new coach do differently with the same assets?
Yeah, that's the thing. Jason says it all the time. What offense you want to run? We have 2 catches for 31 yards from our wide receivers, and our
that's the
best
head coach's
player
fault.
had 9 carries for 19 yards.
How are we going to get receivers?
The
Where are they
coach
coming
doesn't
from?
get a
Got to draft
complete
them because
pass.
we can't sign.
He
We don't
was
have
part
the
of
cap
putting the
space to
team
sign
together.
He
anyone.
doesn't get a complete pass.
Where
No.
are we going to get receivers from?
The draft.
gotta
Do you
draft
know
him.
that right now, if we had the 2 top receivers at Ohio State, right now on this roster, they would be our wide receiver 1 and wide
Jerry
receiver
Jeudy
2.
at worst has been a serviceable receiver his whole career before this year.
He's awful.
He's been awful this year.
He's awful.
But it's part why isn't he getting a pass like Kevin Stefanski? Everybody wants to give him. Not everybody.
Nobody's giving Kevin
You're
a
right,
pass.
No passes.
I
Jeudy
created a
is
straw man.
awful. Stefanski's been awful.
Yeah.
The wide receivers are an F-, and the offensive line is an F-.
But Jerry Jeudy is an NFL wide receiver having a terrible season. Let's not make it seem like he's not. That's not fair. He has a much bigger track record of being an NFL receiver. No?
He's a viable, legitimate NFL receiver.
Yes.
That's about as
having a
high as I
terrible
will
year.
go.
He had Joe Flacco throwing to him for a number of games. Didn't set anything on fire.
We're all in agreement he's having a terrible year.
Yeah.
But we all have to be realistic and say he was a serviceable receiver in Denver.
He's a
and
viable,
he was a good
legitimate
receiver last year.
He's a legitimate
That's a
NFL
fact.
receiver.
This is where receivers go to
And
end their careers.
the Browns
This is where
wide
they
receiving
die.
the Browns
That's it.
wide receiving core on the field yesterday was better than the Jets wide receiving core on the field yesterday.
We'll see you in overtime
Okay,
in
wait,
Sure as
3
hell didn't
minutes.
play like it.
Peace.